and financing for up to 72 months. Rebates available for a limited time. For a free estimate, aircomfortservice.com.
Annie Frey, Ryan Wiggins, Brad Ray.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
For goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show on 97.1 FM Talk.
Oh, it's Thursday. Happy Thursday. Beautiful Thursday at that here in St. Louis. Thanks for joining us here on 97.1 FM Talk. If you are moving about your day and you want to take us with you, don't forget that Odyssey app. You can find 97.1 and the Annie Frey Show there and take us with you. There are discussions being had right now and some sort of confirmation that there is a ceasefire between Israel and Lebanon. My recollection on what I've been reading today is President Trump has invited Lebanon and Israel to the White House to have a discussion. It'll be the first time this has happened since 1983.
Oh, that's cool.
I
did not know that.
Pretty incredible. We're going to speak with Jim Carafano at 1:30 and talk to him about the progress here. He's never, actually, I was going to say he's never super hyped. He is hyped, but it doesn't sound like he's hyped. You know what I'm saying?
Trump?
No, Carafano.
Oh, okay.
God dang. You also can listen to the show on the Odyssey app if you so choose.
No thanks.
AUDACY, find the Annie Frey Show, FREY. You are on that show. You might find.
But you could say that about Trump, too. He always sounds hyped.
There's a lot of things you could say about Trump. That's
Yeah.
not what we're talking about.
Oh, okay.
You weren't listening. What were you reading over there?
The show sheet?
Where it says Jim Carafano at 1:30?
So it does.
So it does. Ethan, I'm going to need a little more information on the show sheet for Ryan, like listen to the show that you're participating in. Just a specific one for Ryan Wiggins.
If you could put that at the top where I would see it, not like in the 1 o'clock hour when I would catch up.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, look, there it is. I think the president continues to win on the politics of this issue. I don't see how people on the left that despise Donald Trump, I understand the fact that you still hate the man. I get it. That's not going to change. The people who have hated Donald Trump, who have made a living off of hating Donald Trump, or at least their main hobby off of hating Donald Trump, I think the only opposition to what he's doing right now in this war on Iran is that you don't want, I really the only understanding or only agreement that I could have with the left in disagreement with what's going on is the whole concept of boots on the ground. Because that could cost American lives. I don't want any American lives lost. But everybody who has signed up to serve in the military, who has given that oath to the Constitution to protect their country, understands that they're putting their life on the line for their country. I mean, that's an incredible thing when you boil it down to that. When you're signing up at boot camp, maybe you're 18 and you're saying, this is my best option. I'm going to go forward with this. You do know what you're signing up for when you put your name on the line. And when something like this happens, when President Trump has the opportunity, is that the right word, to go and denuclearize for generations the country that has been at the foundational level of the terrorism that has existed across the globe for decades and decades, you understand. I know President Trump has said this, Secretary of War Pete Hegseth has said this, I think Marco Rubio has said this as well, that the cost of war is the highest cost. You know that there is going to potentially be life lost. You know there's going to be, in a much lower level, you're going to lose a plane here or some equipment there. You understand that when you go in, which is why you have to take that decision so incredibly seriously, because the outcome has to be worth the cost. And there's been minimal life lost here. Have we lost 13 in this conflict?
That sounds right.
How many were lost when Trump pulled out of Afghanistan? Wasn't it 13?
You mean Biden?
That's what I meant. Sorry. When Biden, see, you're paying attention now. It was a test.
At Abbey Gate.
You're welcome.
Wasn't it 13?
It was 13 at Abbey Gate.
So if you consider the life that was lost with Biden's pull out of Afghanistan, where he just pulled up stakes and left everything behind, including the lives of those who are serving our country. What did we get out of that?
We got a talking point.
For the Biden administration that didn't really land. I mean, it certainly didn't win him the next election. He didn't even stay in the race. Joe Biden decided to pull out of Afghanistan, and it cost American life. So when he made that decision to do that, did he also consider the ultimate cost of the actions that the commander-in-chief was directing the then Department of War, pull out of Afghanistan, we're done here? It's their mission accomplished moment. And the aftermath was kind of like the, notable mission accomplished moment with George W. Bush. And it cost lives, and it was tragic. And yes, we and many people on both sides of the aisle heavily criticized Joe Biden for that. But what was it for? To Ryan's point, to the point that I'm trying to make here, it was so that Joe Biden would have a political talking point. Wow. The lives that have been lost here in this conflict with Iran, what is the cost? What is this for? The denuclearization of the foundational co-sponsor of terror that exists across the world, and the denuclearization of a country that screams death to America and that will bring terror to the shores of anywhere where they feel like they can reach. Because the ultimate goal for them is a religious zealotry that, for them, death is the culmination of their effort. It's very hard to rationalize and reason with people who understand death as part of the process, as part of the goal. I mean, if I'm talking about how in the United States military you go into these engagements and you know that death could be part of the equation, it's not the goal. And for a lot of these individuals who have been in charge at the highest level of Iran's government, who have participated in the sponsoring of terrorism across the world, you do have an instance where the end goal for them could, in fact, be death. You cannot reason with those people. And Donald Trump tried to. He tried to, not in my opinion, to get to the end goal of saying, wow, we could fix this on a handshake. I don't think the president ever thought that they were going to fix it on a handshake. But he did over and over and over again try to reason with unreasonable people so that when he did what he's doing right now, he could say, we gave it our best shot. They were not interested in discussion. There's only one language that they understand, and so we're going to speak that language loud and clear. In the wake of America's fortitude and willingness to reshape the future of global power across and global threat across the world, there are countries that are all coming to the table with kind of a new setting. Nobody really knows where they're ever, how many years, how many decades have they come to the table? They know exactly where they sit. They know exactly what their role is. And that there's a malaise to that. There's an apathy to that. And it shows. We've got European countries who are so fat and happy living off the American taxpayers' dime that they don't realize that they actually have a little stake and skin in what's going on in NATO, in our partnerships, in our allyship. They don't have that. And other countries who have been relegated from the table, at the kids' table, if you will, or the outlaws' table, if you will, if they're allowed to come to the table right now and they have common interest with the United States of America, Donald Trump has wiped off that table, reset it, and said, come one, come all. But if you're here, we're going to have a certain set of standards. You're going to have some skin in the game. You're going to be a participant. You're not just sitting down to continue to be fat and happy like so many European countries have been. The fact that everybody can come to the table right now, if they want to be invested in peace, we haven't seen that. I haven't seen that in my adult lifetime. And I don't know how the story ends. I don't know if Jim Carafano knows how the story ends. I'll ask him. He'll chuckle and tell me no. But however this story does end, the president is giving us the opportunity to have generational peace in an entirely different way than anybody has anticipated in my lifetime and potentially maybe in yours. If you are opposed to what's going on in this war and it extends beyond, I just don't want Americans to lose their lives in this, because you have, I'm not going to say you don't believe, you haven't been convinced that the actions in Iran are in America's best interest. I respect that you haven't been convinced yet. I disagree with it, but I respect that you haven't been convinced yet. But outside of that, there's really, I don't know an argument. I don't know a reasonable argument against the United States of America doing the things they're doing right now with such minimal overall loss. One loss of life. I think about those families that have lost those loved ones, and to hear like, oh, it's minimal loss. Not to them. It's everything to them. Which is why we fall on our knees in gratitude to those who serve and have served in this country, while we acknowledge them, why we salute them, we thank them, because we know that even if they aren't the ones who lost their lives, they did sign up for the same thing as those who have. I can't think of a reason why somebody who hates Donald Trump can reasonably disagree with the actions, the efforts that President Trump is taking in Iran. Outside of, if Trump did it, I hate it.
They can't find a reason to support Iran. That's the problem. They are trying. They're trying to find some way in which Iran is the victim here, and they can't find it, and they know it.
And the people of Iran have been begging for this.
Yes.
They've been begging for this. Well, it looks as though there's some peace discussions being had with Lebanon and Israel, which is a very important element. That ceasefire was implemented, but then there was still Israel-Lebanon stuff going on, and America was like, none of the ceasefire talks in Pakistan had anything to do with this, but now it looks as though they've made significant inroads in that regard, and there will be a conversation at the White House with both of those countries involved to probably memorialize that and make it permanent. Let's talk to Hans von Spakovsky on the Annie Frey Show when we come back. He's Advancing American Freedom Senior Legal Fellow. Lots to discuss with him, especially with the Supreme Court and the makeup of that. Was it Justice Alito who was just recently hospitalized for, they said it was nothing, but he went to Walter Reed, and when that happens, everybody goes, Let's talk to Hans von Spakovsky here on the Annie Frey Show next. The Retirement Advisory Group, online at retirementkey.com. All the details that I'm about to tell you about this event that we have coming up here, April 28th. They're on the website, and you can sign up there. You do need to sign up. It's a free event. I think that's important to mention first and foremost. And it's entitled a Protecting Your Retirement educational event. If you're nearing retirement, even if you're already retired and you want to know how to turn your 401k and IRA into a worry-free retirement, this is the event for you. If you are close to retirement and you want to make sure that what you've saved is enough for you to retire on time, good news. A lot of people are being told you're ready to go right now if you want to. Or some people might be hearing, give it another year or two and you should be fine. Don't you want to know the real honest truth of where you are in that pursuit? This is the event for you. I'll be there at 6 p.m. The event starts at 6:30, so come early if you want to have an opportunity to talk with Mark Cox, Mark Reardon, myself. I would love that opportunity. Reserve your space by calling 314-993-9494 for the April 28th, 6:30 p.m. at the Doubletree Chesterfield event. Retirementkey.com.
Here's something I run into a lot with younger homeowners, and happened to be with my little boy. He was looking at purchasing homes. This house had a 20-plus-year-old furnace and air conditioner. And, of course, my advice was never buy a house with that old of an air conditioner. You will be buying a new one. And he goes, well, how much does a new one cost? For his size home, told him figure tens of thousands to over $20,000. If you're looking at a house, my personal opinion is make sure it's a newer unit. If not, request buyers to put in a newer unit. That makes it easier on your 15 or 30-year mortgage if it's included in the loan. Just my piece of advice for that. But if you're hearing this after the fact and you do need a new air conditioner, sorry to hear that, but call me, Bart Inman, one easy number in Missouri and Illinois. The easiest of numbers. It is 314-293-2600 or bartinman.com. God bless.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon with Stewie from Stuart's American Mortgage. We are in the 6th hottest real estate market in the country, Stewie. What can buyers in St. Louis do to gain that advantage with you?
You know what, Mark? It's real simple. Number one, the bagel loan. Bagel looks like a zero, easy to remember. No closing costs, no title fees, no lender fees, no appraisal fees. The big bagel looks like a zero, easy to remember. Take that money you're saving, add it to the bid, beat all the other offers out. Number two, we give you the power of the pre-approval letter. What does that mean? We pre-approve you for the maximum amount that you qualify for. You can then go into our portal and edit the letter and raise it or lower it to any amount you want up to the amount you pre-approved. No waiting for the loan officer, no waiting for anybody else. It's all in your hands. And the third thing, we can close in 10 days. That's a big deal. If you go to the seller and say, hey, here's my offer. It may not be the best, but we can close quick. Everybody else is 30 days out. You know it's going to happen quickly with our reputation. Big bam boom, you got the house of your dreams.
Call or text Stewie at 314-324-4440 or Google the Bagel Loan. NMLS number 226715.
Nothing makes a gathering great like Eggland's Best Eggs. They're just so delicious with better nutrition, too. For us, it's eggs any style, as long as they're the best. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. 97.1 FM Talk. St. Louis Conservative.
It's probably not easy to give up for people, you know. They reach a certain age. Ginsburg could not do it. And she really hurt herself within the Democrat Party. People are very angry at her because I got to appoint people instead of Biden.
So you don't know if you're going to be naming, putting another nomination forward. Okay, Mr. President, you've got a big meeting.
It's possible. You know, in theory, it's 2 or 3, they tell me. If you just read statistics, it could be 2, could be 3, could be 1. I don't know. I'm prepared to do it, but when you mention Alito, he is a great justice.
There you have President Trump speaking about the possibility of appointing another Supreme Court justice. We heard that Justice Alito made a stop by Walter Reed. They acted like it was no big deal. He never lost consciousness or anything like that. But what would happen if President Trump had the opportunity to influence yet again the Supreme Court? Let's talk to our friend Hans von Spakovsky with us once again, Advancing American Freedom, senior legal fellow, former FEC commissioner, and DOJ lawyer. Hans, welcome back. It's good to have you back with us.
Well, thanks for having me back. Alito, has been on the court now for 20 years, although that makes him very junior compared to Clarence Thomas, who's been on there for more than 30 years.
Talk to me a little bit, Hans, about, we usually discuss the Supreme Court justices based on rulings that they're having and, opinions that they're giving. But what is it like to be on the Supreme Court? Of course, it's a lifetime appointment, but what kind of influence does it have if you're the Chief Justice, a Senior Justice, a Junior Justice? How does that all work?
Well, you don't have a lot of power, I guess, administratively, if you're just one of the justices. I mean, the Chief Justice's main thing that he does is he assigns who's going to write opinions in specific cases. I mean, that's really the big thing that the Chief Justice can do. But otherwise, look, your influence depends on who you are and what kind of opinions you write. Clarence Thomas, for example, boy, he's had a lot of influence on the court because of the frankly terrific opinions he's written, which are in-depth, correct historically. They're very intellectual. They're well-researched, well-written, and he's had a lot of influence on the court because of that. Of course, Alito has too. Alito particularly has been very good on voting and election issues. And remember, they have 3 cases that we're waiting for, big election cases right now that are pending before the Supreme Court.
So let's talk a little bit about how the Supreme Court this year, those rulings usually come down by the end of June. I'm wondering if you expect any of them before that. Talk to us a little bit about how big of an influence the Supreme Court could have on our election system this year.
Well, like I said, they have 3 very big decisions that we're waiting for. And, today's Thursday, tomorrow is Friday. And tomorrow is actually a scheduled decision release day. So start at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. Everybody's going to be watching to see what opinions they've released. You can't predict, but I would hope that they would actually release at least one, hopefully two of those election decisions, because the elections are encroaching on us really quickly. Primaries are starting to come up. And we need to know what they're going to do. Of those three opinions, one is about the states that allow absentee ballots to come in and be counted after Election Day.
Illinois. That's coming out of Illinois, correct?
Right. Illinois, in fact, has the longest period of time, 2 weeks, that they allow that. This is a case out of Mississippi. Mississippi has a 5-day period. There's a second case out of Louisiana that involves redistricting, which, as you know, has been a big fight across the country. And the issue there is basically when, if ever, can race be used to draw the lines of legislative districts. And then the third one, which involves the Federal Election Commission and campaign finance laws, is all about how much money can political parties spend to support their candidates in coordination with their candidates. And that could have a big effect on where campaign funds are spent in these upcoming midterm elections.
So these are very huge decisions.
Right.
Do you have we've got like a 6-3 breakup between more constitutionalist judges, I'm saying that as opposed to conservative, and the 3 more liberal judges.
Right.
Are there any, nothing's ever obvious with the Supreme Court, but tell me how you anticipate potentially, if any of these, going one way or the other.
I think there's a good shot. I'd put it at 60-40 that they're going to say that allowing ballots to come in and be counted after Election Day actually violates the federal laws that set the day for the federal election. When it comes to the redistricting case, I think what they're going to do is issue new guidelines, much stricter, that really limit the use of race only to actual proven circumstances where there was intentional racial discrimination, which is not the situation now. The coordinated spending one, I would hope they would go with the First Amendment, which is to throw out the current limitations. Because, Andy, look, what is the purpose of political parties? They're organized to find and support their candidates. So to me, putting a limit on how much they can spend on their own candidates just doesn't make a lot of sense, particularly under the First Amendment. Will they do that? That one I can't predict.
We're speaking with Hans von Spakovsky, Advancing American Freedom Senior Legal Fellow and former FEC Commissioner and former DOJ lawyer. I want to ask you about the Attorney General position right now. Todd Blanche in as acting Attorney General, Pam Bondi out. Do you have any thoughts on where the president might want to go next with his nomination, maybe giving Todd Blanche the actual position of Attorney General and not acting, or if you think he might go another direction or should?
Well, he's probably happy with the things that Todd Blanche has been doing. The one thing I would you know, Donald Trump is hard to predict.
Yes. Yes.
The one thing I would say, and I think I've said this before, is I think he's going to pick someone who is currently inside the Justice Department. And the reason for that is that if he picks an outsider, it'll be a while before they can be Attorney General, because they can't even get confirmed before the FBI does a background investigation, which takes time. Whereas the current people who work there, like Todd Blanche, that's already been done. So if the president wanted him in, he could nominate him immediately, send his nomination up to the Senate, and they could act within, a couple of weeks to get him confirmed. That's not true with outsiders. I've heard people speculating about, former state AGs and U.S. senators and stuff, none of whom have had that kind of investigation. I think he wants somebody in there in a hurry.
Is it easier to because obviously the Senate would have to confirm, we here in the state of Missouri love Eric Schmidt. He was the Attorney General here. Josh Hawley, the other senator from here, also the Attorney General of Missouri. But if you were to appoint someone like that, like Mark Wayne Mullen was for the DHS position maybe they have a better chance of getting through the nomination process or not? Does that factor in?
Yeah, it does. But I think if you talk to U.S. senators who've been nominated for positions, you would have them shaking their heads at the way that people they were friendly with in the Senate suddenly said, we're not going to support you, we're against you. So the fact that you've been in the U.S. Senate, yeah, it might give you a little bit of an edge. But if you're a conservative, for example, Democrats are probably going to uniformly come out against you, and they're not going to allow the Senate kind of courtesy you're supposed to give colleagues to prevent them from doing that.
Last question before we let you go, Hans. When somebody is being confirmed in the Senate, if it's a senator that's being confirmed, for instance, Mark Wayne Mullen, when he was put up to be Kristi Noem's replacement at DHS, right, does he have the opportunity to vote for himself? Is he required to abstain?
I don't think he's required to abstain, but I think that's what folks do just because it doesn't look right. If they don't do that.
All right. Well, Hans von Spakovsky, thank you for visiting with us. I hope you're having a lovely spring afternoon. You're in D.C., aren't you?
I am, and the weather this week here has been absolutely gorgeous.
You got some cherry blossoms still out?
There have been a few. They're mostly gone, and it is getting very warm here, too.
Well, I know I was surprised when I went to visit D.C. a few years ago that D.C. is basically due east of St. Louis. So I think we have pretty similar weather patterns. You guys are just a few days after us. Hans, thank you for being with us today. We'll have you back soon.
Sure. Thanks for having me.
Take care. Bye-bye. We're going to take a break. When we come back, my friend Stewie, Stewart's American Mortgage, is going to be with us, and we're going to discuss some of the ever-changing elements of the mortgage industry and purchasing in a time right now with spring coming into full bloom. Of course, the real estate market, it goes crazy. How do you position yourself best in this market with the ever-changing news coming out of Washington, D.C., policy changes? We'll talk with Stewie next. If you've got a question that you'd like us to ask Stewie, you can text it to us at 314-241-9797, 314-241-9797, or, as always, come join us on the Annie Frey YouTube live broadcast. Just go to the Annie Frey YouTube channel. We'll be back with Stewie in just a minute. I'm super pumped to be talking to you about the St. Louis Funny Bone. I cannot stress enough, and I've done this myself, not like a comedy club person myself, until I went, and then I realized, well, I am a comedy club person. You know why? Because I actually enjoy laughing. And if you are interested in having a great time sometime this weekend, starting tonight, Thursday through Saturday, David Koechner is going to be at the Funny Bone at the streets of St. Charles. A wonderful opportunity to go have a great dinner on the streets of St. Charles, and then pop over to the Funny Bone and laugh and just enjoy humor and comedy from some of the very best. David Koechner, of course, you know him from Anchorman and Anchorman 2, as well as The Office. Having him at the streets of St. Charles is incredible. You can get your tickets by visiting stlewisfunnybone.com. A couple other shows that are taking place tonight at the Westport Funny Bone. You can go see Johnny W. And Friday through Sunday at the Westport Funny Bone, Will O'Donnell, St. Louis's own. But if you're looking to get tickets for any of these shows, including David Koechner tonight through Saturday at the streets of St. Charles, go to stlewisfunnybone.com.
Many of you know that my inspiration for becoming an accident attorney was my brother Tim, who was rendered a quadriplegic at age 18. I didn't know what a personal injury lawyer was or what they did, but I soon did. Tim was treated terribly by the insurance company, and I became enraged. It was a constant delay and deny. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Tim later worked with me for 27 years. Last year, my hero died at age 65. You can see my eulogy for him by visiting mybrothertim.com. He was one hell of a man. Because of Tim, together we built the largest injury firm in the world, and our clients are treated the way I would want my family to be treated. At Morgan & Morgan, nobody is a nobody and everybody is a somebody. If you need our help, visit forthepeople.com on your phone or computer. See you soon, Tim. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com. Injured? Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Why do the national tax resolution firms need the tiny fine print at the bottom of all their TV ads? Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. You don't hear fast-talking disclaimers in our ads because the claims we make are 100% transparent. The Lance Story Law Firm primarily focuses on one thing, IRS problems, and we're regulated by the Bar Association, and we have a AAA rating with the Better Business Bureau. IRS issues are serious legal issues. The Lance Story Law Firm has helped thousands of clients navigate the best resolution plans, and we tell you up front exactly how much it'll cost. Tax resolution law is all we do. So before you send money to some out-of-town, high-pressure salesperson, give us a call at the Lance Story Law Firm, located right here in St. Louis. Call today to schedule your free consultation with me, 314-260-6120, or visit Lance, D-R-U-R-Y law.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
The YouTube live chat poll is, have you ever been accused of being a conspiracy theorist? Your options are yes, and I'm not. Yes, and I am. Or no, nobody's ever accused you of being a conspiracy theorist. Let us know what you think about this topic.
I'm just going to tell you right now, Ryan is a conspiracy theorist. He's a conspiracy theorist's conspiracy theorist.
I don't know if that's true. I think that there is some truth
That's the
to
first sign that you are.
Then you're kind of going to lose no matter what, aren't you?
Lack of self-awareness there.
I think no matter who you are, you should vote no in this poll. Otherwise, you're going to be accused in that exact way right there.
See how defensive he gets?
G. Wibbs says on our YouTube page, he commented, while I believe in certain theories, I don't consider them a conspiracy. So
you're going to go ahead and vote yes.
Yeah, I think so. He didn't say specifically, but let us know what you think about this topic. How would you classify yourself is what we're asking. 12:35. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
JerryKelly.com.
Where common sense rules the mic. 97.1 FM Talk. St. Louis Conservative.
All right, we got Stewie from Stuart's American Mortgage, my friend and sponsor of this show. I am a client of the Bagel Loan ×2, and I am excited to talk to you, Stewie. Ryan won't shut up about real estate in here. He's always talking about buying, selling, renting, everything. So he gets super excited when you're in here. And I know that there are a lot of people out there right now. How long have people been waiting to jump into the real estate market?
Oh, they've been waiting by the sidelines there are a ton of people waiting by the sidelines. And interest rates now are about almost 1% lower than they were a year ago.
Really?
So the market's getting flooded.
And when did they get to their highest highs? You said a year ago they're at a percent lower than a year ago, but how long has it been since they've been at their highest highs?
I think it's been about, right now I think is what we're seeing in the last 30 to 60 days, the lowest that's been over 3 years. And what happens is people mentally start to think, oh, they're lower, I can afford it now, and they jump into the market. And sellers who are sitting walking around and saying, you know what, I don't want to sell my house right now because the interest rate is too low that I have on my house.
Twice what I have right now in my house.
Now they're kind of a little bit coming out and saying, okay, I got to move. I have 3 kids now. I can't do this 2-bedroom anymore. So even though I got 3%, I can afford now to jump ship and go to another house. But the proportion of sellers to buyers is not equal, is not even. So even though you see a slight increase in the houses being sold, you're seeing 3, 4, 5 times of the buyers coming into the market saying, oh, I want to buy this house. And these bidding wars, they are ferocious.
Yeah.
So it's incredible.
That's an attractive. I've talked about, we're really working hard on getting everything going so we can build our house. But the real hard part is when to get in. So if people are thinking about that right now and they're looking to make a purchase and bidding wars are super high, what are the things that people need to know about getting into the market, making an offer? Because they might be thinking, gosh, I don't want to have to overpay for a house. Like, how do you become the most competitive buyer?
Well, the first thing that we got to talk about, which is the number one question I'm getting asked daily, is I have my house right now. I want to use the equity on the sale of my house to put down as a down payment on the house I'm buying, but None of the sellers that we're giving offers to want to accept the contingency on me selling my house. What can I do? This is the number one factor. Sellers are saying, I got 10 contracts on my desk. They're cash offers or financing without contingency. I'm not going to accept your offer if this is going to be the case. So what do you do about it? So people have been dabbling with this thing called a bridge loan. A bridge loan is actually a terrible vehicle to get. With a bridge loan, a bank or institution will give you a loan and it'll tie up both your houses. It's an adjustable rate mortgage. It's not fixed. You pay a ton of fees, and you never know what your end interest rate is going to be until you go ahead and sell the old house and refinance into a regular mortgage. Bad idea. So what you can do is you can buy the new house. You put down the minimum that's required, which is 5% on a conventional loan. You can borrow against a 401k, get a gift for those monies, all different ways, or maybe you have it. You put down the 5%. Then you buy your house. Worst case scenario, you haven't sold the old one yet. Let's say you sell it 2 months down the road after you've bought the new house. You can take the proceeds from the sale, put it against the loan, and for $150, they'll drop the PMI if you've borrowed more than 80% and give you a new payment based on the lower loan amount without going through the refinance process. So you know what your interest rate's going to be. You know what your payment's going to be. It's called a recast. And if you have that tool in your pocket and you know and you're going to make the offer and you know later on the numbers are going to go down for you, you can be in a position to make that offer without selling your old house. That is a number one factor right now with great houses that are having those competing offers. So that's the first thing you can do is consider the recast, get away from the bridge loans, get the house you want, bam, you can get it right away. The second thing you can do is we can close your loan in 10 days. This is a real big deal for sellers. They want their money. They want their money now. They don't want to have to wait 3 weeks or 4 weeks, which is what it takes most lenders to get done. 10 days in and out. We had an offer last week that got accepted. It was the third highest offer in the bidding war. But because the seller saw we can close in 10 days, they took the offer. They wanted the money. So we can close in 10 days. And obviously you got the bagel loan. Bagel loan is no closing costs, no title fees, no lender fees, nothing. You're going to save yourself $5,000, $6,000. If you add that to the bid, that's going to overprice you against other offers. Doesn't cost you a dime more because you're not paying the costs. And all of a sudden, you can beat the other bids that are out there just by the price that you're offering.
What's the range of closing costs that people pay? I mean, obviously, it would depend on the specificity of the loan. But realistically, when I'm telling people, and like I said, I've used the bagel loan twice myself, and there were no closing costs either time. What is the range of dollars that saves somebody?
I think it starts, the minimum is $4,000 to $6,000 range. So that's big bucks, okay? $4,000 to $6,000. You're buying a $300,000 house, especially if you're a first-time home buyer.
Mm-hmm.
You're sitting there under the couch cushions looking for all the quarters. That $3,000 or $4,000.
The closing cost is always kind of like a sneaky thing at the end. Because you're haggling the price of the house, right? You're nodding emphatically.
Oh, man. The closing costs are one of the biggest negotiations when I go to either buy or sell a house.
It's where the negotiation is.
A lot of it's based on that because it's all based on whether sometimes people don't have cash. They just want you to pay the closing costs. And I'm always like, well, Stewie doesn't have any closing
That's
costs.
right. And in today's no pizza delivery fee, no Reese's peanut butter cups. It's just fine. But right now, this is a big factor because sellers are not willing to go ahead and pay the closing costs for you anyway.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to see that on the contract, even if
you've got 13 offers, you don't have to. Somebody out there wants the house enough, they'll pay it.
Well, yeah, and of course you get the houses that are not very attractive out there, and they're trying to move those. Those are the ones that are having the bidding wars. I understand, but generally anywhere from $250,000 to $650,000 or $700,000. That's that price range. The bidding offers are coming out from all different sides. So that's a really, really big factor is the closing costs. I saw a lender here in St. Louis, lender fees and closing costs over $8,000. And sometimes when you're buying a $2 million house or a $3 million, it could be $10,000 to $15,000. If you're buying a house for $2 million, you still get the bagel loan. You don't have to pay all those fees. So this is a great option. You get the same or better rate that's out there. And this is what I get into with other loan officers, other companies. They'll tell people, oh, well, he's giving you a higher rate or he's doing this. No, it's the same or better rate, and you pay the no cost. It's a great opportunity.
What is the biggest thing? I mean, we've got a war going on. Of course, that affects gas prices, energy prices, and everything. But is there anything We got a Fed chair that's supposed to be replaced in May,
That's
right?
good. That's
a
very
big
good.
deal.
Yep.
What are the biggest things that could happen in the news timeline that you're waiting for to make another drastic change on the housing market?
Well, right now, by the way, okay, even though that the market is fierce, the prices are somewhat palatable. Okay, even though they're 5% over asking, sometimes it's big. It's somewhat palatable. The reason is the rates are a little bit higher than they were maybe 30 days ago because of the war. You know, inflation is here. We have a Fed chief right now that is not very dovish when it comes to interest rates, but
it's too late.
I know, too late for that. But he's doing that.
Too late, pal.
Oil is spiking temporarily. That's causing interest rates to be a little bit more elevated. But this is to your advantage because if you can get the house now, even if you pay a little bit higher of an interest rate, when this thing blows over, and it will,
You refinance with the bagel loan and
you
don't pay any closing
refinance
costs
the
to do
bagel
it.
loan. That's right.
Scooped
You
you.
refinance. But at that point, you've gotten the house at the price you want to pay.
Before housing prices, you think will go up when
I think
interest
they're
rates
gonna
go
spike.
down, and
Yep.
it's a lot about people being willing to get in the market. If you have more buyers who are more portable, because I'm one of those people, I have an interest rate in the 2s, and I was jokingly sort of asking Ryan, like, you got any rentals? Because if I could sell my house right now, I'm going to need a place to put 6 people. How crazy would it be, folks, if Ryan was my landlord? The stories would be endless.
I'm looking forward to that. Just based on the power struggle.
Yeah, I know. It will look different at different times of the day, I'm sure.
Move Wiggins America around, I'll lower your rent for just a week.
Okay, you can have the whole show.
Maybe I should move in too.
Exactly.
This
There you
would be
go.
fun. It would party.
Ryan he told me, like, for a house that would accommodate my family, what the rent would be. And it's an incredibly reasonable rate. But my mortgage payment is so low right now that to think about moving out of my house to pay a mortgage rate or to pay a rent rate that is pretty close to what I'm paying on my mortgage for a smaller house.
not bad.
Just is like, ugh.
I know. Well, you were in an isolated and a circumstance that we know during COVID where the interest rates were superficially low. Okay,
Which is why I encourage people to contact you, because I never, ever would be in the position I was right now with such a low rate if you weren't telling me, Annie, you need to refinance. This is crazy. This is a time where you need to refinance. And I did it because I knew you and I connected you. And how many times, Stewie, have I called you or talked to you or texted you and been like, should I blah, 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 blah? And you're like, no, Annie, you should not do that. And then you tell me what I should do.
Well, it's important to have a relationship with somebody that's here local and that actually has your interests at stake.
Yes.
One of the things that we do that we boast all the time is when you're a customer of ours, we actually watch the markets for you. So when interest rates go down later on, we'll call you and say, hey, do this now. It's free. You're going to save money. There's great ways of doing it. Sometimes you want to go from a 30-year to a 20-year. Sometimes you want to go from a 20-year to a 30-year. Cash is king today. You know, everybody's worried about the cost of living. Everybody's worried about paying the bills. You know, my wife tells me all the time that she loves me, but my love doesn't pay her bills. She needs money. So, this is what's going on in the world, and those prices just keep getting elevated. I think they'll calm down a little bit. You know, inflation will kind of back off a little bit, but once those interest rates go down, okay, if you're a buyer in the market, you're going to be competing at double the amount of people bidding out there. And so I think if you're thinking about buying a house, do it right now. The interest rates are low enough and calm enough right now that you can get a pretty good deal. When the rates go down, you refinance for free. At least you get the house and you get the house at the right price.
Well, Ryan, we went a little bit long there with Stewie. I'm sorry for your shortened Wiggins America segment.
Oh, it's all right. I've got great content, but it doesn't matter, apparently.
Do you want to ask Stu any questions?
I do.
Go ahead.
I really do. So I've talked to you before. How, and just give me the brief version of this because I'm sure it goes really deep. How are you able to have no closing costs when everybody else has it?
Everybody asks this, and it's a great question.
Oh, don't compliment him.
This is a great question.
I'm complimenting him on the question.
Yeah, okay.
Not necessarily
on anything else.
anything else in my life.
So this is a big factor right now, and the bottom line is like this: when you go dealing with a mortgage banking institution, there are mortgage brokers, there are mortgage bankers, there are banks. All these institutions, especially the bigger ones that have the ability to give you better rates, and they do at times, they have to pay commission loan officers. Okay, and those commissions that go to loan officers are 1%, 1.5%, or whatever the loan amount is. So if you're borrowing on a $400,000 loan, they got to pay the commission of $4,000 to their loan officer for doing the transaction. They don't have much flexibility with that. They have to pay it. That's how they make it a living. So they charge you a higher rate because in order to get the $4,000 to pay them and for them to make money, they give you a higher rate, okay? The loan officer gets paid, company gets paid, and you have to pay the closing costs. So what we developed was a little bit different of a model. We felt, number one, is we want our customers to deal with me. I own the company. There's accountability. You can call me a year after it's done. You know, I've got 35, 40 years of experience in the business. My son who works with me, he's actually smarter and better looking than I am, but he is the same way, same integrity. You have somebody to talk to all the time. Without having any commission loan officers, we take the commissions and we pay the closing costs for you. So you end up with the same or better rate with no fees. It's simple, old-time philosophy of America, which is keep your costs low, give the customer the best service,
Direct
and
business.
be around the corner for them to talk to you. And remember, the house is your biggest investment you're going to make in your life. Well, my wife says she's the biggest investment, but in general...
Your wife's a smart lady, though.
She is smart. But in general, that's the biggest investment. You have to deal with somebody local. Dealing with these national companies, good luck after the transaction. You end up paying more. You end up paying costs. You get thrown at the closing table. So the bottom line is we just built a model that's better for the consumer. And that's what we strive to do. And along with the customer service and the accountability, we keep evolving, doing better job. And that's why today we're probably the number one in the St. Louis area, and everybody's trying to beat us.
Well, I certainly am a happy and satisfied customer. Stewie, we're talking to Stewie with Stuart's American Mortgage. If you're interested in reaching out to him, you can Google the bagel loan. That's a simple way to do it. But you can also call him or text him at 314-324-4440. I stand by it as a customer of his, and I'm very grateful for your partnership here with us on the Annie Frey Show.
Thanks for having me. Now, are you going to ask them if they're a pessimist?
Conspiracy theorist.
Conspiracy theorist.
A Stewie conspiracy theory.
You could be an optimist and be a conspiracy
that
theorist.
might be in the after show. We'll see. We'll be right back with Wiggins America. Don't go away. The Home Shield Foundation repair folks are the ones to call if you've got water in your basement today because it's been raining like crazy. That's such a stressful situation to be involved in. And I know that when you notice that water is in your basement and then you start looking, you end up seeing it in other corners or whatever. You've got a problem. You got to have it fixed. It's not an exciting phone call to make. But when you find somebody who can actually take care of it and relieve you of the anxiety of rain in the forecast, you've got to make that phone call. It's Matt Hayes. As soon as you meet Matt Hayes, you're going to be like, I get what Annie's been talking about. He's a real dude. He's one of us, and he knows how to get the job done and get it done right. And he stands by his work and his team, an incredible group of people who are committed to Home Shield Foundation Repair. I think when you see who works with Home Shield Foundation Repair, you're going to understand why they've been so successful, because they have the best in the business. 314-271-9900. That's 314-271-9900. Call Matt Hayes and Home Shield Foundation Repair to get your basement waterproofed right away. HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Are you a Simon and Garfunkel fan?
Yeah, I am.
I'm a huge Simon and Garfunkel fan.
Yeah, I like them a lot.
I told this story, I don't know, it was maybe in October. I feel like it was around Halloween. I know we were talking about, I think Cecilia came on or something, and I was jamming out to it. My kids thought I was weird, which is just, a Tuesday or whatever. And I was like, this Simon and Garfunkel. And they're like, who's that? And I couldn't believe that they hadn't heard, because it's such a unique sound.
Mm-hmm.
And so we sat in the car and made them listen to maybe 8 songs of theirs that are fantastic.
It's a long time.
But Disturbed doing Sound of Silence, I always struggled because that might be better than the original, and I feel like that's sacrilegious to say. It's so good.
I know that it's a good song. I don't want to say that it's better than the original. And a lot of people like it a lot better, though. Simon and Garfunkel, though, is one of those bands that they're always perpetually on my, I got to buy their greatest hits list, and I never do.
I think the thing that I like about, the difference is, I feel like Simon and Garfunkel are kind of spiritual in a...
They've got
like
kind of that
a
60s folksy,
yeah,
like I'm in tune with Earth.
One of two things, spiritual or drugs. I don't know. I wasn't
Probably
there.
both.
Could be. One leading to the other.
Yeah.
But Disturbed it's the same song, but it kind of feels like it comes from a different place.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I like that song a lot. The YouTube poll, we're going to punt Wiggins America a little bit later in the show here. I want to talk real quick about the YouTube live chat poll. We can take your texts on this as well, 314-241-9797 on the Annie Frey Show text line. But the question we're asking you is, have you ever been accused of being a conspiracy theorist? Yes, and I'm not. Yes, and I am, or no. I toyed with the idea of putting in an option that was, yes, I've been accused of it, but I've been right about everything, and they're not conspiracies. But I couldn't figure out a way to sum that up. Well, I know, which is why I didn't put it in there immediately. If you're that person, then you need to say yes, and I am. Because I'm not talking about if they are conspiracies. I'm talking about if you've been accused about being a conspiracy theorist, and you are. If you've been accused of it, I don't know. Just interpret it however you want. But there is a huge contingent of people who would say they were conspiracy theories until they were proven true. So I think in that regard, I don't know. Where are you at on this poll?
I would say yes, and I'm not. Because I also debunk a lot of conspiracy theories.
You do?
Oh, heck yeah, especially on my weekend show. I do all the time. Because, like, let's say with the 2020 election, there's a lot of conspiracies. But there's also a lot of dis and misinformation that's put out deliberately to look like real information. So you got to sift through it, which to me is just doing good investigations. So that's what I try to do. And some of it becomes conspiracy and some of it's not. But you're just looking for truth.
I mean, I don't think that if you have a conspiracy theory, that isn't on its face bad.
No.
If you have a theory that somebody conspired to do something, that people lump the idea of conspiracy theory into wackadoo stuff. Sometimes it is. But we've also seen wackadoo stuff that has materialized into truth and fact.
Right.
And the wackadoos are the ones who were unwilling to consider that possibility. So which are you? Go vote in the Annie Frey YouTube live chat poll. In the next hour, Hogan, Gidley, and Jim Carafano. We'll be right back.
Mark Cox here. Join me, Annie Frey, and Mark Reardon, along with Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw of the Retirement Advisory Group, as they show you how to create a worry-free retirement. It's Tuesday, April 28th at the Doubletree Hotel in Chesterfield at 6:30. Here are Thomas and Bob with more.
Are you nearing retirement or already retired and would like to know how to turn your 401k and IRA into a worry-free retirement? Would you like to learn the investment strategy that gives you market growth while avoiding the market losses at the same time?
Would you like to get your free personalized retirement income plan? Did you also know if you're 59 and a half or older, you can roll over your company retirement plan tax-free and have a worry-free retirement? If you're 59 and a half or older, you cannot afford to miss this event.
Have a worry-free retirement and join the official financial advisors of my show, Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw. It's at the Doubletree Hotel in Chesterfield, Tuesday, April 28th at 6:30 p.m. Go to retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
Did you know replacing old vinyl windows with more vinyl windows might not be the best choice? Hi, it's Kim, and I'm here to tell you about Infinity from Marvin Windows, because these fiberglass windows, they're energy efficient, they're beautiful, and they're custom built to fit your home perfectly. The team at Lakeside Renovation and Design just makes the process so easy. I love the fact that they even offer a lifetime workmanship warranty. Look, if you're tired of drafts, high energy bills, or maybe hard to open windows, now's the time to upgrade. Visit windowsbylakeside.com to schedule your free consultation today.
If you suffer from burning, tingling, or numb feet, pay special attention as we discuss neuropathy with Dr. Patton, D.C. Doctor, what is neuropathy?
Peripheral neuropathy is nerve damage to the feet and legs.
What are the symptoms?
The symptoms are numbness, burning, tingling, pain, and loss of balance.
Is neuropathy treatable?
It's absolutely treatable, and we have amazing results.
If you have burning, tingling, numbness, coldness in your feet or hands or balance issues, call us at Comprehensive Integrated Health today for a nerve damage screening. The screening will tell if you're at risk for serious complications and if you're a candidate for our cutting-edge treatment program. Don't wait until your symptoms are so severe nothing can be done. End-stage neuropathy leaves people confined to walkers, wheelchairs, and even amputations. The first 10 callers will receive a free nerve damage screening. Call 636-538-5188. That's 636-538-5188 for your free nerve damage screening. 636-538-5188.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call my friends Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group. They'll show you how linking to the market is much safer than owning the market for your retirement savings. They're the official financial advisors of my show. Go to retirementkey.com.
This is attorney Todd Nissenholtz of Kaufman Townsley. When you're injured in a car accident, insurance adjusters are not on your side. They're always adjusting their settlement offers, lower and lower. We'll get your settlement higher and higher. Call 314-777-7777.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-777-7777.
That's 314-777-7777.
Down in the Middle East, I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. 3 hours from now, President Trump says a ceasefire will take effect between Israel and Lebanon.
Israel has bombarded Lebanon from the air and carried out ground operations in the south, trying to defeat the Iran-backed militant group Hezbollah. President Trump today announcing on Truth Social that Israel has agreed a 10-day truce after talks with the Lebanese government. He says efforts will be made to achieve a lasting peace and has invited the two countries' leaders to the White House.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. Again, the president says that ceasefire is scheduled to take effect today, correcting my earlier report of Tuesday. So far, no word of any breakthroughs, scheduling another round of face-to-face talks with Iran as the U.S. blockade of Iranian ports continues.
Iranian state media says Iranian tankers have transported 11 million barrels of oil from the Sea of Oman to their destination since the announcement of the U.S. naval blockade. But CENTCOM says it has expanded the blockade.
Fox's Jennifer Griffin. A 2-week ceasefire between the U.S. and Iran is set to expire next week. A Homeland Security shutdown continues. Acting ICE Director Todd Lyons telling lawmakers at a budget hearing they have many different types of operations and many are contract-based.
And we're just not able to pay for those contracts right now. Our victim advocates, victim specialists, we just don't have that. So while we always hear that ICE is flush with money, maybe for detention and removal, but not for the critical things that actually protected Americans every day. And one of the most vital things we do is child exploitation.
And Democrats have been pushing for immigration enforcement reform. Republicans have been divided over an effort to fund the rest of DHS separately to end the shutdown. The Secret Service just confirming a man taken into custody near the White House complex earlier today after jumping over a construction fence. America is listening to Fox News.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term.
Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
It's tax season, and at LifeLock, we know you're tired of numbers. But here's a big one you need to hear. Billions. That's the amount of money in refunds the IRS has flagged for possible identity fraud. Now here's another big number. 100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it guaranteed. One last big number. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit LifeLock.com for the threats you can't control. Terms apply.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
Partly sunny skies and about 84 for the high going through our Thursday afternoon. We'll continue to keep an eye out for a couple of scattered showers, maybe a rumble of thunder. Tonight, clear skies, 62 for the overnight low. Friday, partly sunny, windy, and warm, 88. A couple of spot afternoon thunderstorms Friday. A better chance of scattered showers and thunderstorms Friday night. Cooler for the weekend. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
The Annie Frey Show is sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Get your AC ready for summer while helping shelter pets. Book your AC clean and check in April, and Air Comfort Service will donate a bag of pet food to Open Door Animal Sanctuary. AirComfortService.com/pet food.
Annie Frey, Ryan Wiggins, Brad Ray.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
For goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show on 97.1 FM Talk.
President Trump is speaking right now outside of the White House, and the announcement right now is that the ceasefire is going to include Hezbollah. We're going to talk with Jim Carafano at 1:30, and I'm always interested in his take on everything that gets poured out into us through the media. I consume it from an incredibly amateur, novice, I think it's okay to say, doesn't matter where you are on the political issues or the war or whatever, I think it's okay for everyone to be like, let's get this over as soon as possible. But the question is, what are you willing to sacrifice in order to end it? And what I continue to hear from people who have a little more knowledge about this, to the extent of a lot more knowledge about this than I do, is we need to end it, but not until we've completed the job.
Yeah, this ceasefire between Israel and Lebanon is kind of, I don't want to say it's out of left field, but it is a bit of a surprise, but it has to be downstream from the fact that Iran is completely cut off. If Hezbollah is involved in the ceasefire, it's because they don't have any other options and they don't have any money because their money was always coming from Iran. So while a little bit of a surprise, it shouldn't be because you have this country, Iran, now completely isolated.
And so many people are looking at this from where I am, which is I have zero access to military intelligence. I don't know what's all going into this. When the president explains that Iran can't have a nuclear weapon, that's like, I can get behind that. I think that that's really smart. But the people who want to go at this president no matter what, they have such an empty, vacuous presentation of their TDS on this that I feel like if the president sees this through and accomplishes what he says he is seeking to accomplish, we are in a position for generational change on the global landscape. Of course, here as an America First administration, where we see them taking this, I think he has the resolve to get the job done. Nothing that makes me think otherwise. Let's get to our guest. Hogan Gidley joins us, senior advisor for the America First Policy Institute, also former national press secretary for the Trump campaign and former principal deputy press secretary for the Trump administration. Hogan, thank you for the time today. It's good to have you back on the show with us.
Oh, always. Thank you for the time. I appreciate it.
So I don't need to talk war games with you right now, but I do. The politics surrounding this, it could be summed up for a lot of people. It just is. It's the nature of the political game, gas prices. But in the long term, what the president is setting up this country for, it seems to me like he has been willing to do something from a policy standpoint that really is truly going to benefit this country, even though in the short term, the political ramifications might be a little bit tough.
Well, I don't know that the political ramifications are tough. The outlines, the goals have been pretty simple. We've achieved a lot of those goals. The question is, what's next? This president has been able to accomplish more in the Middle East region than anyone thought possible, than any president has in generations, if not ever. In fact, if you think about it, whether you're Hillary Clinton or Barack Obama or Joe Biden or Kamala Harris or George W. Bush, all these people kept saying consistently that Iran can't get a nuclear weapon. Okay, great. But that's a talking point unless the follow-up is answered, which is, what are you willing to do to prevent it? Donald Trump said, I'm going to prevent it. And what I'm going to do is get rid of Iran's Navy. He's done that. I'm going to get rid of their Air Force. He's done that. Then, of course, he's got to get rid of the ballistic missile program designed to protect their nuclear aspirations. He did that as well. He's also now cutting off, forget the military successes he's done. That would have been amazing on its own. Now he's destroying them economically because they get, $14 trillion a month through the Strait of Hormuz? Then they threatened shutting that thing down and did so for a day or so. And Trump says, I'll do you one better. I'll shut it down so you can't get any oil and you can't send any oil out either. He is successfully navigating the Middle East when everyone said he couldn't, everyone said he shouldn't. He had peace deals in the first administration. He's ended, 9 wars in this administration, more probably on the horizon. This has systematically been one of the most elite military operations I have ever seen conducted. And that comes on the heels of taking Maduro out of Venezuela when the Chinese delegation was on the ground in that country. He took them right out from under their noses. What he did with bombing the nuclear facilities from before with Fordo and the others, this guy has done more to protect this nation and our interests than any president in my lifetime. Now, the question becomes whether you're for or against this military operation. What happens on the back end will determine, rather, what happens, I think, in the midterms and the popularity. People love winners.
Yeah.
If he leaves this thing and it's perceived as a win, he's in great shape, and so are Republicans. If he leaves and it's portrayed as a loss, then it's going to be difficult. One last point I'll make as I kind of go on a rant here because I've been watching this obviously very, very closely. The problem with that is that even if it is a win by all measurable metrics, data, standards, etc., the left will call it a loss. You saw, and I'm sure you've played the journalist, quote unquote, on television saying, what he is doing, Donald Trump, is great. We need to get rid of Iran. However, I don't want to support it. I don't like America doing great under Donald Trump because I don't like Donald Trump, which is, of course, offensive and grotesque and evil on its face. But they will absolutely reject reality to continue to try and hurt Donald Trump. It is absolutely shocking, but not surprising. I guess it's sad and shocking as of now.
Yeah, certainly. Hogan Gidley speaking with us, senior advisor for the America First Policy Institute. If I have my numbers correct, and I hope that I do, we've lost 13 lives in this conflict with Iran that President Trump has engaged in. But I think that in the withdrawal from Joe Biden's withdrawal from Afghanistan, also 13 lives.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking about the cost and the commitment, the goal, the end goal, the purpose, the intent, and ultimately that cost of 13 lives, both being so congruent for what? And I'm looking at the Biden administration, and all I can come up with is that he wanted the political feather in his cap that he got us out of Afghanistan and was willing to put 13 American lives on the line to do that. And I'm looking at what President Trump is his goal to denuclearize the greatest terror threat that exists on the face of the planet, and it has tragically cost us 13 lives as well. I mean, can there be any more of a stark contrast?
Well, of course not. But also remember when Joe Biden did what he did in Afghanistan, that horrific pullout, the way he did it, there were no conditions like Donald Trump had for terrorism to stop, et cetera. He just did it, as you said, for the feather in his cap. But don't forget, we lost 13 people. That was bad enough. Think about the hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of women that were sold back into sex slavery, sold back into all types of oppression when we walked out of that place too. So the party that apparently loves women so much, even though they can't define one, didn't care at all when Joe Biden turned his back on them and allowed those atrocities to start up again. I mean, just ridiculous. The differences and the contrasts are real. And they are quite stark. My only concern and my only fear, as I mentioned to you before, is how it's going to be characterized in a media that obviously hates the president and has now for the better part of a decade. Again, before he ran for president, he was the toast of the town, right? Everybody loved Donald Trump then. Yeah. So, look, I mean, these things are very difficult. National security, international relations, extremely difficult. Very, very dicey, nuanced, but Donald Trump seems to navigate them in a way that most others can't. because he kind of sees the world as it actually is, not as how he wants it to be. So he understands if you give a few people iPhones and Diet Coke, they're not going to love America all of a sudden. They still hate us. So what do you do to prevent them from getting a nuclear weapon so they can utilize that against the very people they say they hate and that they have exacted terrorism on in the past? And he's doing it every day. It's just really fascinating.
Let me switch gears here a little bit. We're speaking with Hogan, Gidley, on to Eric Swalwell, Tony Gonzalez as well in Texas, Swalwell, of course, in California. There are people in Congress right now who are under the microscope for ethics violations. But I want to speak specifically about Swalwell with you, because if you look at the history of what Swalwell has done in Congress when he's been representing the American people, I can't think of anything that this man has done other than to be there to target and pester Donald Trump. The lies and the deception that he has told as a representative, but also the copious amount of times where he's talking about believing women and all of these hypocritical, disgusting, slimy things that he was accusing Donald Trump of. And now we know from many accusers what he's been accused of. How deep does the hypocrisy go in Congress with the Democratic Party?
Well, first of all, it's deep because it's the Democrats. It's deep because it's California for sure. But as we've talked about on your show before, Democrats always accuse Republicans of things they are guilty of actually doing. This is another great example of that. And you just hit on it. Listen, if you're accused of crimes like this, you are innocent in this country until proven guilty. That's different than a lot of other nations. And that's one of the things I believe that makes our judicial system great. However, that is not the standard that Donald Trump was afforded by people like Swalwell, who continually said you have to believe all women, continually said to hell with the evidence. I'm not even going to wait on any evidence. I'm going to push this narrative that Donald Trump's this horrible, disgusting person, when in actuality it was Swalwell the entire time. So yes, the hypocrisy is there. Yes, the stupidity is there. But that type of behavior is just flat out evil. And so while this plays out, and I feel for his family, I feel for his wife and his children, but this type of problem is one of your own making.
Amen to that. Hogan, I think about the hubris that involves somebody like Eric Swalwell, knowing that these things are part of his past, assuming the allegations are accurate, and being like, you know what? I think I should run for governor. I think they need me. The people want me. I'm going to continue on, and I'm going to continue to level up. And he's already run for president. He's already thrown his hat in the ring for that. I mean, just to live in an existence where you would live this type of double life and be so confident that you could get away with it. That makes me feel like there has to be other people who made him feel that way.
Oh, yeah. But look, the stunning lack of self-awareness and the ridiculous sense of self-righteousness with someone like Swalwell, it's not unique to him. There are people all throughout Congress, I think, that have that same disease. But oftentimes, they feel as though they're never going to get caught for these types of things. And remember, this is what people don't understand. He's running for governor, and you think, oh, well, he must be squeaky clean. He's running for governor. He's been in Congress. He must be squeaky clean when he runs for Congress. I mean, he was on city council, and these things are vetted. The bigger the office, the more scrutiny comes along with it. And so you remember the gentleman, I can't remember his name, he was a friend of mine, but he was the lieutenant governor of North Carolina and then ran for governor, and all of this horrible stuff came out. He was a Republican, and people said, whoa, how can this be? He was already lieutenant governor. I said, yeah, but that's fine. It's when you run for a higher office, you get a higher level of scrutiny. And so someone like Swalwell, in the midst of running for governor, he was also, remember, about to upset the Democrats' plan. Mm-hmm. And that is a no-no. And if we've learned anything from getting rid of Joe Biden, from the Hillary Clinton campaign cheating and lying to get Bernie Sanders out of it, where the media gave her questions ahead of time, to Eric Swalwell, if you are no longer needed, you are cast aside like an old shoe. They don't care anymore. You have served your purpose. Bye. They don't care anymore. And you see this so often on the Democrat side. And when they realize that you could have two Republicans at the top of the ticket. And here's what the rich thing of it is as you're closer to California geographically right now than I am. We're both pretty far ideologically.
I live in Illinois, so I feel it politically in my soul as well.
A little closer. But California is so far left and so far radical. And if there's three things I know that are bad, it's men, white men for sure, and billionaires.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as Swalwell drops out, who shoots into the lead on the Democrat side? Tom Steyer.
Male billionaire.
A white male billionaire. Like, it's so stupid. But like I said before, they care about really two things, but one kind of collectively, and that is gaining and maintaining political power, period.
Amen.
And whatever they have to do to get it, they will do it. And this is a perfect example of that.
You know, Hogan, it's amusing, if at least currently to me, that the Democrat Party will decide when someone's career is over, i.e. Swalwell, because you know that everybody knew about this, but they were waiting for the time to talk about it and to throw him under the bus.
But hey, Annie, hold on, but Biden too.
Sure.
Everyone knew he was cognitive decline, but no one said a word until like the blood was in the. Oh, we knew this for a long time. Why didn't you say anything? You knew this about Swalwell. Why didn't you say anything? Because he was a useful idiot for them. That's why.
And they'll pull out all the stops to make sure that the only person like a Kamala Harris, let's not have a primary. Let's just pick.
No.
And this is the party that says the end of democracy is near
End
if
of
you vote for
that's
Republican.
right.
Like, come on, people. Do you even have a dictionary? Look it up. Hogan Gidley, it's always great to have you on the show. Please come back again soon.
Anytime, Annie. Thanks.
Take care. Bye-bye. Hogan Gidley is the senior advisor for the America First Policy Institute, former national press secretary for the Trump campaign, and principal deputy press secretary for the Trump administration. He has been in the room, and we're always grateful for him to be on the show. At 1:30, we're going to talk with Jim Carafano about the possibility of Iran peace talks. We have an understanding that there is a ceasefire agreement that includes Hezbollah, peace talks between Israel and Lebanon. Whoa, we need the expert, Jim Carafano. He is that for us in 10 minutes. Don't go away.
It's time for you to get to know my friends at Lit Cigar Lounge in Chesterfield, where luxury meets comfort. Mark Cox here. They have a great selection of rare bourbons, whiskeys, craft cocktails, anything you like to drink, cold beer, premium hand-rolled cigars from the finest makers in the world, even private lockers that are available if you choose to. Perfect for date nights or business meetings, and live music every Friday night. Family owned and operated. Check them out in Chesterfield at the District. It's litstl.com.
You've been listening to the very popular Wellness One for many years, Saturdays and Sundays on 97.1 FM Talk. We're happy to share that we've expanded the show to 4 times a week. Yes, 4 times every weekend. Saturday at 10 a.m., Saturday at 8 p.m., Sunday at 9 a.m., and Sunday at 2 p.m. It's the same great show designed to cut through the nonsense and provide you a common sense, science-based strategy for a healthy life. So join TJ and Aaron for Wellness One. Now 4 times a week on 97.1 FM Talk.
I'm John Morgan. There are many reasons to hire Morgan & Morgan for your injury case. Reason number 3. First, all lawyers are not the same. If my family had an injury case and I couldn't hire us, there are only about 3 to 4% of the lawyers out there that I would hire. And here's why. Most of them rarely, if ever, go to trial. They just take the last best offer. Hell, you can do that yourself. Do this. If you're looking for a lawyer, Google Morgan & Morgan results and see what comes up. It may shock you. Then Google the firm you're thinking of hiring and do the same. That may shock you as well. We became the largest injury firm in the world for a reason. We won a lot. $30 billion and counting. Morgan & Morgan. For the people.com. Who would I hire? I'd hire us.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. Past results afford no guarantee of future results. Every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
This is Congressman Bob Onder. Americans demanded border security, and House Republicans delivered. According to the Department of Homeland Security, for 10 consecutive months, U.S. Customs and Border Protection has reported 0 illegal aliens released at the border. I'm proud to have worked with the Trump administration to secure our southern border and uphold our immigration laws, and will keep fighting to advance strong policies that protect Missourians and keep America safe.
Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
Gain peace of mind that your flooring and carpet installation will be done right the first time when you hire the experts at Michael's Flooring Outlet. They give all their clients attentive personal service, even bring toys for the kids of the household. It's a family-owned and operated business for 25 plus years. They make sure you make the right choice for your home. So if you have carpets or hard floors, you're going to be happy for years to come. 3 convenient locations in St. Charles County, 116 Main Street, in Old Town St. Peters at Mid-Rivers and Highway 70, in West County on Olive, and the store in Darden Prairie. Michael's Flooring Outlet, IGotFloor.com.
Don't let tax refund worries hold you back. File now with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They'll find every credit and deduction to help you get every refund dollar you deserve, or your money back. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
The Annie Frey Show is St. Louis conservative.
Rihanna.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. We are watching more developments right now. I'd like to listen in. Let's listen in to Fox right now. They on Fox News. We are St. Louis's Fox News radio affiliate, and they're talking about the potential of a meeting with Iran this weekend. Let's listen in.
Agreed not to pursue its nuclear program. He claimed that they agreed to hand over their nuclear dust, the stockpile that's believed to be buried underground, that has been sort of the center of this open question about what the U.S. would do, how far it would go to get that out of Iran's hands. As he stated, Iran has agreed to hand it over. He said that they've agreed to almost everything and that a deal seems very close. If one comes together, he would travel to Islamabad to sign a deal, and that the next round of talks may happen this weekend in Islamabad, as we understand it. This is pretty significant because there were reports this morning that the White House was swatting down. A Reuters report circulating claiming that the U.S. was scaling back its ambitions for this peace agreement. Noteworthy that the sources in that article were 2 Iranian sources telling Reuters this information, claiming that the U.S. was pursuing potentially a 20-year moratorium on enrichment while Iran was asking for 3 to 5. We have heard multiple times from this White House, including just moments ago, that there is no 20-year deal that the U.S. is pursuing. They want the grand agreement, I think was the phrasing the vice president used a couple days ago. No nuclear weapons, not now, not ever. And the president seeming pretty optimistic that can come together. Of course, the Iranians are putting out different types of messaging through their various platforms, and including information they're giving to American reporters working for Reuters. But this is pretty significant, and the president seems to have some hope. This is going to have a big impact on the economy rather soon.
So Jackie Heinrich reporting from the White
so
House lawn right there. She's the senior White House correspondent, giving the latest on the conversations between Iran and the United States. It sounds like they're getting somewhere significant.
It's great.
For now.
Yeah, well, the reason that I think everybody is optimistic right now is that Iran really just doesn't have anything else to do. They have nothing. They have no money coming in anymore. That's all strategic from Trump.
I just, I'm kind of baffled by all of this, because the things that people who voted for President Trump, priority-wise, the things they thought that he was going to be working on, I don't know that this was anywhere near the idea of. But this is a huge thorn in your side. It's like it's like having an ailment that you've just thought was chronic, that you just had to live with, and was progressively kind of going to get a little bit worse, and you were worried about if it would get you in the end. And all of a sudden, if big fat capital IF, if Iran is not in the future what they were in the past, everything President Trump gets to do in the future, from a policy standpoint, from an economic standpoint, from a trade standpoint, all of a sudden the possibilities, I'm assuming they're better, but everything is different on the other side of this, should it be a success.
It's just wild to watch him basically remake the entire world order.
The world!
The whole world order since World War II has been one way. It is now going to be, after Trump. It's going to be what was it like pre-Trump and what was it like post-Trump, because he is remaking everything.
Let's take a break here. When we come back, Jim Carafano, the expert, we could just sit here and just, dabble in a little foreign policy, or we could have an expert on it. And Jim Carafano is absolutely that. Senior counselor to the president and E.W. Richardson Fellow for International Engagement at the Heritage Foundation, the man who travels the world, will visit us here on the Annie Frey Show in St. Louis next. Air Comfort Service, online at aircomfortservice.com. If you haven't signed up to be a preferred partner yet with Air Comfort Service, you're missing out. With the preferred partner plan, you get regularly, I don't know why it's always so hard for me to say regularly. It's like a word that a professional talker should be able to say.
You did it the second time.
I know, but I only ever do it on the second time.
You regularly get it wrong the first time.
You're a jerk. You nailed that. Dang it, you want to do this for me?
Okay.
Regularly scheduled heating and cooling system checks where they check the entire system 2 times a year. So you're going to stay ahead of any of those costly repairs that are going to sneak up on you if you don't have your HVAC system looked at. And I'm just going to be honest. You're not thinking about your HVAC system. I know that you're not thinking about your air conditioner. You're not thinking about your furnace. You're only thinking about it when it stops working. If you become a preferred partner, you don't have to think about it anymore. It's going to basically take care of itself. Well, of course, with Air Comfort Services help. They're going to give you discounts on diagnostic calls and repairs, discounts on new service as well, or new equipment, I should say, as well if you need it. And you get that priority service. To sign up, call 314-513-0091, 314-513-0091, or visit them online at aircomfortservice.com.
Ready for instant curb appeal that comes with a 25-year transferable warranty? Call Rhino Shield today. We do brick, block, stucco, asbestos, aluminum, steel, cedar, and more. Over the past 20 years, we've done thousands of homes, businesses, churches, schools, condos, parking garages, large metal buildings, and strip malls, from Champaign to the Lake of the Ozarks. We do flat and sloped metal roofs to extend their lives too. Proud to be veteran-owned and manufactured in the good old USA, so we're tariff-free. We're exceeding expectations every day. Evaluations are free. A+ rated with the BBB and a lot of 5-star Google reviews. Call 877-25-RHINO, 877-25-RHINO, or 877-25rhino.com. See what we did there? Genius. Tell them, ladies.
Don't hate, don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
From Collinsville to Chesterfield, 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
What's with these homies missing my girl? Why do they gotta front? What did we ever do to these guys that make it so violent? But you know I'm yours, and I know you're mine.
At the direction of President Trump, the War Department will ensure that Iran never has a nuclear weapon. Never. We'd prefer to do it the nice way, through a deal led by our great vice president and negotiating team, or we can do it the hard way. We urge this new regime to choose wisely.
That's the Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, speaking this morning at that press conference where they've been briefing the American people on the progress of the war. And he's saying, don't take the hard way, but they are ready to enforce the hard way. Let's get to our guest. Very excited to have Jim Carafano on a day like today, senior counselor to the president and E.W. Richardson Fellow for International Engagement at the Heritage Foundation. Jim, they're talking about ceasefire, including Hezbollah, and peace talks between Israel and Lebanon, and the possibility of Iran coming to the table with the necessary agreements as quick as this week. What are your thoughts on the latest news headlines?
Cats and dogs living together. Look,
peace and harmony.
Right. I mean, no. If a year ago, you remember many years ago when Biden got elected, it was like the first interview we did after the election. I said, the illegal population of the United States is going to double under Joe Biden, right? And if a year ago we'd had a conversation, and I said, hey, in a year's time, Venezuela is going to be tamed. Cuba is going to be on the ropes. The Russians will be losing ground in Ukraine. Lebanon's going to make peace with Israel. Iran's nuclear program is going to be eliminated. You would look at me and say, Jim. Well, first of all, I would have never said that.
Sure.
Because all of that actually happening in a year's time was unthinkable. But the reality is it all has had, and it's like a giant Jenga puzzle, right? You pull one piece out, everything else collapses. Well, what Trump has done is in Latin America, in the Middle East, he's pulled out the piece of the puzzle that's made everything else kind of fall apart. And in the Middle East, it was always Iran. Iran was the great destabilizer of the region. It was the nuclear threat. It was the threat to rain down ballistic missiles on anybody that messed with it. It was unleashing its surrogates to attack its enemies and keep a sphere of influence. And that's all been crushed. And the Lebanon thing is a direct consequence of all that. But I got to tell you, in fairness to the Iranians, right? What started this what started the radical transformation in the Middle East was not Donald Trump. It was the Iranians, and it was greenlighting the October 7th attack on Israel. Because the direct consequence of that was an Israeli attack, not just an Israeli crushing Hamas, but Israelis attacking Iran and demonstrating that they could be defeated militarily. And when Trump jumped on that, that's what just rewrote the whole game.
I think that the question that I have, I know a lot of novices as I am have, is what does it look like to see this thing all the way through and to complete the mission here? And is there a political pressure to maybe jump out of it a little too soon?
Yeah. So first of all, I think from a shamelessly American perspective, protecting our interests, the game's already over. We've already won, right? We have destroyed or greatly reduced all the things that made Iran a significant threat to our interests and to the stability of the region. And then the nukes, the surrogates like Hamas, Hezbollah, the Houthis, and the ballistic missile program. So we've already won. What we're doing now is we're just showing off. Literally, Donald Trump is just showing off, right? We didn't have to open the straits. He's just doing that really to show off, and really send a message to everybody all around the world that I mean what I say.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't actually need a deal with the Iranians. He could go back in and mow the grass anytime you want it. You look like you're going to dig up the uranium, we blow them up again. Build ballistic missile, we blow it up, right? Launch some turret, we kill them all, right? So we could mow the grass, right? He's literally humiliating them to make a deal. I mean, I don't even know. First of all, if the Iranians make a deal, who knows if you can trust them, and who knows if the government's even going to be sensitive. But he's just showing off. Now, I think two things. One is, I do think that in my prediction is that in 3 months, the gas price will be the new price of eggs. Right? Remember, Trump got elected, the price of eggs was high. Everybody was like, oh my God, it's the end of the world as we know it. Like now the price of eggs is like whatever. And in 3 months from now, nobody's going to be talking about the price of gas. But what's more important, and this is something I genuinely think people don't understand, is I think the president is less concerned about the impact of the war on the midterms than everybody else is. And the reason for that is Trump's objective and what's going to help get another Republican reelected in 2028 is, what does the country look like in 2028? That's much, much more important than the midterms. And that is much more determinant about how people will view him and his accomplishments historically. So he's playing. That's one. The other thing is look, presidents lose in the midterm all the time. It doesn't really affect their ability to be president. So that's not as big a deal as people think it is.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing is there's the margins are so narrow who knows what the issues in these key districts are going to swing on. I don't especially if the price of gas is down. I mean, so the notion that you can control that destiny, you really can't. I mean, you can throw all the money into the district you want. You can get the price of gas down to $1 a gallon. You still might lose.
Yeah.
So I just don't think that this is the crisis for the president that people think he is. And I think what we're seeing is every day, you're basically adding to deterring every enemy we have in the world, saying, oh my God, these Americans are on the march. And, we just need to put our heads down.
Jim Carafano speaking with us. I had this conversation a little bit earlier in the show as well, but I'm looking at the 13 lives lost in the Iran conflict that we're in right now and comparing it to the 13 lives that were lost in the Biden administration's decision to pull out of Afghanistan. And I really am thinking about the sacrifice that anybody who signs up, that they're all making the same commitment. Then unfortunately, these 26 individuals have met their demise due to it. But in service to their country, Matt, you say this all the time, so I'm just giving you the opportunity to say it again. You are electing a commander-in-chief, and your commander-in-chief really, really matters.
Yeah. So, I'd say some things, first of all, that are kind of insensitive, and I apologize for that. But, nobody has ever fought a war on this scale and had as few casualties as the United States of America. If you actually look at the statistics, we lose more people who die in training accidents and more planes crash in training accidents in a year than in this war. So from a pure standpoint of conserving American lives, what we've done is unbelievable. The other thing is the lives that were lost in Afghanistan were in vain. Those guys didn't need to die. That mission didn't need to happen the way it did. And I think the one thing people pray for is, I was in the Army for 25 years. Nobody wants to throw their life away. And when we sign up, the day we sign up, we know we might die. But I think our greatest prayer is, if I die, I want my life to mean something. I don't want to just throw it away on stupid, which is what essentially the withdrawal from Afghanistan was. This conflict, the accomplishments and the benefits to this nation are exactly what military service is all about. But the other thing I would say is these lives are so unbelievably precious and important, not just because it's not just the uniform, it's our brothers and sisters and our people in our family who have done something unbelievably extraordinary. They get a paycheck, but I got to tell you, you can get a paycheck anywhere, right?
Yeah.
They serve for the only reason that they serve. It's not about getting a college education or paying off a student loan, or it's about serving to selflessly serve your country. And they are special people, my friend.
Yeah.
This is not if you look, the casualties are very small, but we've had kids that have been away from home for months. They've been living on ships. They're up 22 hours a day. Some of these guys are flying on almost no sleep. They could die any second. This is unbelievably selfless service. It's just incredible. So we have to pray and be thankful for what they do, and the notion that we've actually had more people than ever fight to get in the military that's just extraordinary.
We're speaking with Jim Carafano here. Before we let you go, I'm curious about the investment. We're talking about the commitment and the sacrifice that these individuals make. And you said the phrase, they died, there was a vanity to what Joe Biden chose to do, abdicate and removing from Afghanistan. Are we potentially, looking at generational transformation because of President Trump's decision and willingness to go in and denuclearize Iran and to decapitate them? Is it a generational impact?
Yeah, absolutely. Totally could be. you have the potential to completely transform the Middle East. And, remember, for most of our lives, the Middle East was the problem set to always be dealt with. We have the potential to make the Middle East actually an anchor of stability and prosperity. We can do in the Middle East today what was done in Europe after 1945. Where 2 world wars were fought, and then it became an anchor of global stability for so long. And then the rippling it has on our other adversaries like China and Russia shouldn't be discounted. So, yeah, I think this could be the key is to find the sweet spot between being afraid to do anything. This is where the isolationists and restrainers, right? They're always afraid to do anything, everything, and which just invites you to be attacked, right?
Chaos, yeah.
Or to deter yourself. And the overreach that we saw, like in Vietnam or in Iraq and Afghanistan, where people just had goals that were just too ambitious, right? I mean, everybody wants a perfect world. Everybody wants to 100% win. Everyone wants to solve all the problems. Everybody wants the world to be land of milk and honey. But at the end of World War II, the Soviets controlled half of Eastern Europe. We didn't say, oh, well, we have to liberate all of Europe from the Soviets now. I mean, we couldn't have done that. I mean, complete overreach. So it's knowing when to stop. It's having the courage to act, but knowing when to stop. That's the true genius of military command. And hopefully we're going to get that right in this conflict.
Well, Jim Carafano, thank you for the insight. We always appreciate you. Thanks for being with us.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Take care. Bye-bye. Senior Counselor to the President and E.W. Richardson Fellow for International Engagement at the Heritage Foundation. He's a great follow on X at JJ Carafano. Quick break. When we come back, Wiggins America back in studio. Things Gen X and elder millennials were taught that are now useless. Or are they? That's what we're going to get to the bottom of. And with Wiggins America next.
What's happening now?
We must have the enriched material out of Iran. Quote, a lot is happening today and tomorrow. We have all the ingredients for a deal, but it's not all there yet.
97.1 FM Talk.
It's Mark Cox. If you enjoy your backyard like I do, you need to reach out to my friends at Chesterfield Fence and Deck. They can make it better. And make it better in time for this summer. If you reach out to them right now, you mention my name when you call, they're going to give you 20% off the bottom line of your next outdoor project with Chesterfield Fence and Deck. Listen, when you've been around since 1968 and you've been under the same ownership, you take a lot of pride in what you do, and it's a sign you have the very best when their installation crews show up at your house. Here's the thing about it. They do free in-home estimates, no obligation. They'll come out and design a project for you if that's what you're looking for. And of course, they carry the beautiful Vecadeck vinyl decking for the decks that are no maintenance. How about that? You don't have to worry about it. The colors are beautiful, plus custom sunrooms and screen rooms and pergolas. Reach out today to my friends at Chesterfield Fence. It's chesterfieldfence.com.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
I'm Dr. Nick Barnes at Health From Within Family Chiropractic in Rock Hill. At Health From Within, our mission is to transform the way you manage your health by bringing you the truth about health and healing. We use proven techniques to remove interference in the nervous system and maximize health naturally, without drugs or surgery. Connect with me at healthfromwithinstl.com And join me for Maximize Living on this station every Sunday at 8 a.m. or download the Maximize Living podcast, Health from Within, STL.com.
If you've listened to 97.1 FM Talk, you've heard of Doug Voss of Voss Financial and Safe Money Radio, as he has been a staple as the financial expert on the station for many years. You can hear him on Safe Money Radio every Saturday at 2, right here on 97.1 FM Talk, and you can talk to Doug Voss directly. Here's his number. Call Doug at 844-676-SAFE. That is 844-676-7233. Doug Voss is a registered representative. Securities offered through DHL Securities, LLP, member FINRA and SIPC.
When your car is making a strange noise, no matter what it is, you can't just pretend it's not happening.
That's an interesting sound.
It's like your mental health. If you're struggling and feeling overwhelmed, it's important to do something about it. It can be as simple as talking to someone, or just taking a deep, calming breath to ground yourself. Because once you start to address the problem, you can go so much further. The Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council have resources available for you at loveyourmindtoday.org.
The YouTube live chat poll today is, have you ever been accused of being a conspiracy theorist? Your answers are yes, and I'm not, yes, and I am, or no. I love the comments on this topic today. Keep them coming via the YouTube live chat, where you can leave a comment and vote there, or via our text line 314-241-9797. It is 1:48. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
This is the Annie Frey Show on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Wiggins! Oh! Wiggins!
I don't like it when you look at me while your voice is texting. It's confusing.
I wasn't trying to look at you.
You were looking straight at me, but
Well,
you were
you
talking
looked
in a
up.
really low register voice quietly. It was so creepy.
It's a little off-putting, I know.
It was terrible.
Yeah.
Don't ever do that again. You were talking about your floors.
Yeah, I was talking about some flooring.
Anyway, go ahead.
We really like that look,
Ew.
I said.
Ew. Make it stop. He was only looking at me from the top of his eyes.
I
like
wasn't
his head
trying
was tilted
to.
down to his phone.
I was trying to communicate, but not with my eyes.
Well, you did.
These are things that Gen X was taught, / elder millennials, our age group, was taught that are now considered completely useless or bad advice.
I'm just going to throw out that this is probably anybody born 1985 or earlier.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, this would apply to not just-
Post-boomer up
Right.
to 1985.
Right. So the first one is go to college and be guaranteed a good job.
I remember professors telling me about the jobs we were going to get when we graduated with our communications degrees.
Mm-hmm.
Not true. Not true at all.
But they got your money.
Yeah.
They got a lot of your money, too.
Didn't get theirs.
Those colleges. All of them are a ripoff. Don't go.
That's the advice. I mean, I just
my
think that you have to
advice.
have a better plan. And also, gosh, there's so much online legitimate education that you can get at this point that, to me, that's where I really want to focus my kids' attention to consider. I think that the going away for college thing, I don't know which of my kids, I know my son doesn't want to go away to college at all, but that absolutely could change in the next few years, and I'm prepared for that. I kind of wonder if my oldest daughter would like to do that. The other two are too young. But if you can save on all of the fees and everything that have to do with physically being there and do online work.
Oh, yeah.
And then just live your life around having to be by your computer. These are kids that grew up during online learning, so they're accommodating it pretty easily. I just think that's maybe where it's at.
Well, I'll take you one further and say that Elon Musk says college is completely useless. If you want to learn anything at this point,
Yeah.
you have the entire
What does Elon
world.
Musk know?
Well, that's true. Next one is you will stay loyal to one company forever, so treat that company well. You actually have kind of done that.
I've worked at 2 radio stations. I worked at KFNS 590 The Fan for 3 years. Started my internship there with Frank Cusimano on his show, The Press Box. And what a blessing that was. In the kindest way I can say it, that man is truly just a kind, wonderful person. And from there, I just got so tired of talking about sports for 40 hours a week. Not talking about it. I wasn't on the air. I was very much so a background person. But it just was unfulfilling. Like, I remember maybe 18 months of my life was dedicated to Barry Bonds and steroids. No, hard pass. When the News Talk avenue kind of opened to me and I was able to apply for a web digital brand manager position here at 97.1, I got hired in February 2nd of 2009, and I've been here ever since. I'm the longest 97.1 employee that's an employee directly just to the station that it is existing here.
I think you might be the longest tenured radio personality ever.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Is it my hair color?
I don't know. I don't know what it is about
Gray,
you.
folks.
I don't ever look at you, so I don't know.
You're kind of like protesting a little too much.
Next one.
Moving on.
Next one is master cursive writing for professional success.
I don't really think you need to know cursive writing.
I don't either. Is there any reason to know cursive anymore?
To read it.
I guess so, but
if you have to write something
Speaking of poll questions, have you ever been accused of being a conspiracy theorist? There are people who believe that the reason that cursive writing has not been prioritized in the classroom is so that humans can't read our founding documents.
Oh, yeah?
That might be a bit of a stretch.
That's a stretch because you can still read them online.
But somebody could change it. If you wanted to look at the actual founding document and see what it says. I mean, you could still look at it, and it's in this kind of like old English and it's like calligraphy.
Yeah.
It's a difficult read.
Seems like you'd have to fool a lot of people.
Yeah, I'm not saying I am one of those conspiracy theorists, but that does exist.
We were taught that you should not rely on a calculator for math.
Oh, God, you're not going to carry a calculator around. Yes, you're darn right I can.
Yes,
I don't
you
even
are.
actually need the calculator anymore. I can just talk to my phone and it will solve the problem for me.
Man, that's a good point. You don't even need the calculator
No.
itself. You just tell the
calculator
AI.
is now in the background.
Yeah.
And it will politely tell you what your answer is.
Yeah. I don't think that's right. Oh, well, I'll check again.
And you can like make it tell it to you in like Bugs Bunny's voice if
Right.
you so choose.
Who would have thought? How about wearing nice clothes every day to work?
I think that this is not true because, and I think nice clothes is subjective. Nice does not mean expensive. Nice means presentation. And I do believe that those young people who show up and present themselves in an above average way are going to get ahead because nobody has that expectation.
I actually agree with this.
I think this still matters.
I don't carry this out very often, but dressing nice to work does set you apart. This one's related.
Yeah,
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No.
Do your comedy.
No,
No?
No.
Okay.
There's nothing funny to say here.
All right, next one is cover all your tattoos if you go in for a job interview.
I think it depends on the job interview.
I don't think it matters as much as it used to.
No, I mean tattoos would be just like a no-go 20 years
Especially
ago.
a lot of tattoos.
But
Or face tattoos.
I guess I would say that it matters what the tattoo is.
Right.
If I see a tattoo on somebody and it's indicating military service, that might, I was going to say be a turn on, but like in a professional way. Like if you know somebody has been in the military and has completed military service and it wouldn't have been necessarily highlighted beforehand, or maybe it jumps out to you and it indicates to you something, I would consider that a great plus up.
Yeah. Like if you go in for a job interview and you have a tattoo across your stomach that says, looky, looky, who got nookie. And,
oh my gosh.
And for whatever reason, I can see that tattoo because
What are you
you're
talking about?
exposing your stomach during the interview.
Is that a thing?
Not a great thing.
Is this out of your brain or is this a cultural reference?
Brain.
Shoot.
Expect a pension.
No. Nope.
No. Unless you work for the government, then you're fine. Maybe. Rely on looking up information in encyclopedias.
They don't exist anymore.
Do you still have any?
No.
I still have a set in my basement.
Why?
just in case of the
After
EMP.
the EMP?
The EMP.
Mhm.
That's smart.
If people are like, what's the latest? I'm like, let me tell you about 1989.
I was going
This
to
is
say
with
88. I was going to say World Book 88. The blue with the red band on the bottom.
Exactly. Just a couple of quick ones here. Pluto's a planet.
Yeah.
The food pyramid, which
Upside down.
just seems to be constantly evolving. And how to play a recorder.
They still do it.
They still do it, though.
Oh, my gosh. Hot cross buns is going to end me. It's the worst. Why do we need recorders? I don't really understand the application there. Have you ever been accused of being a conspiracy theorist? Go vote in the YouTube live chat poll or text us your thoughts, 314-241-9797. Back in a minute.
Every child deserves a childhood. Make-A-Wish creates life-changing wishes for children with critical illnesses. A wish sparks a ripple of hope that transforms communities far and wide. When we grant wishes together, we create a movement of kindness, strength, and unity. Join us today at wish.org and be part of a journey that truly changes lives.
If you need a garage door, this could be your lucky day. Entries are open now for the $5,000 sweepstakes at Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. A winner will be chosen at random to receive $5,000 towards new garage doors, openers, or front entry doors of your choice. Deadline to enter is the end of the month to win the $5,000 sweepstakes with Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Enter now at overheaddoorstlouis.com. You can't win if you don't enter at overheaddoorstlouis.com.
HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com. Have you visited their website? I encourage you to do so if you have a basement water problem. Even if you have a foundational concern that you want to bring up to Matt Hayes at Home Shield Foundation Repair, potentially seeing some of that cracking in the wall, maybe the paint. You see the paint, it kind of like splits and then maybe it goes a little bit further. You've noticed you got a problem and you might need to have their peering service implemented. If it's in the basement and the foundation is compromised and that water is making its way in, that problem's going to get worse with time. Get ahead of it. Call Matt Hayes, 314-271-9900. That's 314-271-9900. Matt Hayes and his St. Louis local family-owned business is going to show up and give you the information you need to make sure that the resolution is one that's going to last a lifetime. 314-271-9900. Call Matt Hayes at Home Shield Foundation Repair at 314-271-9900 or learn online at homeshieldfoundationrepairs.com.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-777-7777.
That's 314-777-7777. Make a deal. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. That's what President Trump just said about Iran, telling reporters more talks may happen over the weekend.
It's looking very good that we're going to make a deal with Iran, and it's going to be a good deal. It's going to be a deal with no nuclear weapons.
He calls Iran's current leadership very reasonable.
He's claimed that Iran has agreed not to pursue its nuclear program. He claimed that they agreed to hand over their nuclear dust, the stockpile that's believed to be buried underground that has been sort of the center of this open question about what the U.S. would do, how far it would go to get that out of Iran's hands. As he stated, Iran has agreed to hand it over. He said that they've agreed to almost everything and that a deal seems very close.
Fox's Jackie Heinrich at the White House. The president also saying he may travel to Islamabad, Pakistan for the signing of a deal. President Trump also says a U.S. blockade of Iranian ports may be even more effective than all the bombing, though Iran disputes the effectiveness. The president speaking earlier today with the Israeli prime minister and the president of Lebanon, who've agreed to a 10-day ceasefire set to begin 2 hours from now, with both leaders invited to talks in Washington.
And they'll be meeting, probably coming to the White House over the next 4 or 5 days.
Posting earlier that the goal is lasting peace, Israeli forces have been fighting Iran proxy Hezbollah in Lebanon. The president taking questions just before heading to Las Vegas for an event focused on his economic agenda later today. Virginia's new governor says she's deeply saddened by what happened last night when police say former Lieutenant Governor Justin Fairfax killed his wife and then himself in their home. Governor Spanberger calling it a horrific tragedy, adding she's praying for the couple's children, teenagers who were home at the time. Police say a messy divorce had been underway. America is listening to Fox News.
My name is Christine, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, was a healthy 34-year-old, and 3 months later, he was gone. Thankfully, he had life insurance. Ethos made it so easy. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. 100% online, no medical exam. Life insurance didn't take away the loss, but it did give us the space to just grieve.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/save. Ethos.com/save. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
LifeLock, how can I help?
The IRS said I filed my return,
But I haven't.
1 in 4 tax-paying Americans has paid the price of identity fraud.
What do I do?
My refund, though.
I'm freaking out.
Don't worry, I can fix this.
LifeLock fixes identity theft guaranteed and gets your money back with up to $3 million in coverage.
I'm so relieved.
No problem. I'll be with you every step of the way.
1 in 4 was a fraud-paying American. Not anymore. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Partly sunny skies and about 84 for the high going through our Thursday afternoon. We'll continue to keep an eye out for a couple of scattered showers, maybe a rumble of thunder. Tonight, clear skies, 62 for the overnight low. Friday, partly sunny, windy, and warm, 88. A couple of spot afternoon thunderstorms Friday. A better chance of scattered showers and thunderstorms Friday night. Cooler for the weekend. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
The Annie Frey Show is sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Time to schedule your air conditioner service. Get not just your AC, but your entire HVAC system checked for $19 a month with the Preferred Partner Plan. And be ready for the first heat wave. AirComfortService.com.
Annie Frey, Ryan Wiggins, Brad Ray.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride. What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
For goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show on 97.1 FM Talk.
Just a few weeks ago, I got a message from someone who goes to church with us, and they're like, hey, we're thinking about having a church volleyball team at the YMCA. Do you want to be involved in it? I have not been asked to play on an adult sport team for a long time. 20 years ago, my husband and I played on a co-ed volleyball team at the Y, and they had a competitive league and they had a rec league, and we played in the competitive league and we won. I think we won one year and we lost the championship the next year, whatever. Last night was our first game, and I was terrified of doing this at 41 years old.
Why?
Because, do you know, you were an athlete, right?
Still am.
Okay. And
I get tired super easy on the court,
if
but
you
I
tune
am.
into the YouTube live stream, you can observe Ryan's athletic physique.
No, you don't have to do that. But you can.
I'll take the clicks.
Okay.
I think a lot of people who have been athletes, we've had this conversation before. If you were an athlete in high school, does that make you an athlete? Are you an athletic person? Are you an athlete forever if you were an athlete?
Yes.
Because you do have those abilities. They've just maybe waned over the years.
Mm-hmm.
The mind doesn't. There's this. I think you see this a lot in baseball. Maybe you see this a lot in other sports, but I pay the most attention to baseball. You will see Adam Wainwright's a really good example. A man at 41. Did he get to 42? Maybe.
Yeah, he was close.
A man of his age at the end of his career was still effective because he understood the game probably better than he had ever understood it in his career. That last game that he pitched, he probably has, and then it continues on from there. When you walk off the field for the last time, you cerebrally can still grow in the game. So I'm about at the same age that Adam Wainwright was when he quit baseball, and I'm talking about coming back into the game, but like YMCA co-ed rec volleyball. And I know that my brain is going to be thinking, do this, do that, we need to go there, dive for that. And I'm thinking, my 41-year-old body is not going to be that quick. It's not going to be as good as it once was. but I was good once as I ever was. Is that how the song goes? I just was scared that my brain was not going to keep my body from doing something stupid.
I think you need to tell your brain to shut up and stop being scared.
You want me to die so you can have my job.
I just want you to
It
go
only
out there
takes
and
once for your brain to learn the lesson.
leave 110% on the court is all I'm saying.
We had a great game. We ended up winning in 3 sets. The other team was really good, and we met each other for the first time about 10 minutes before the game started. So we were going,
Oh, your team did?
Yes, our team.
Okay, not the other team.
No, our team. We were asking, like, what are the rules? Anybody set? Anyone left-handed? Like, all of that was happening as they were waiting on us to serve the game. But we played well, and we won. But there was one time where I went down to pass a ball, and I went down on my right knee and had my left leg stretched out so I could get super low. And I felt my knee start to hyperextend, and I thought, this is it. It didn't. I feel it today. It's a little sore today. But I was so scared. And I think the other thing, too, there's a mental part of this that is scared to do it to find out that I can't.
Let me ask you this. Is everybody serving overhand?
I didn't.
You didn't?
No, but
That's why I was asking.
I can serve overhand, but I have some shoulder issues from coaching that I need to have looked at, but they're years old. And my shoulder actually is in pretty good shape right now, and I don't want to screw it up. But I can serve underhand on a dime. You tell me where you want the ball, and I can put it there.
Yeah, I always could, too. And I never played volleyball into my adulthood or past adolescence to know if I could serve overhand.
Mm-hmm.
I was always just underhand.
Mhm.
And then the other day, because my kids are playing volleyball, I stood there and tried it for the first time. I'm like, oh, I can serve overhand. I didn't even think I could.
Yeah.
I'm a big boy.
I'm a big guy.
Is there anything that you're dealing? I mean, we're all about the same age. We're all in our early to mid 40s. Do you feel? Are there any things that you're really scared to find out that you can't do anymore? Because sports, like keeping up with my kids, and I've been involved with coaching. I played 4 sports in high school. That first fall, as a freshman in college, I was coaching volleyball as an assistant coach for somebody who I played for. And I've been in the game as a coach or an official every year since I was playing. So I've never been out of it. But last night, like my kids, their mind was blown that they were going to mom and dad's game. They were giddy about it. And all 4 of my kids, they were the only 4 kids in the gym. And they were like excited for us, but also my when we got in the car afterwards, my son drove me home. He goes, "Well, you didn't embarrass me."
Well, because you won.
Thanks, son.
Did they yell at things? Did they yell things at you that you yell at them?
My daughter was trying to yell out spots that I should tip it to, which is what I, as a coach, do to her.
Nice.
Yeah.
There are 1 or 2 things that I am afraid of as I get older, and these are, I hate even saying them because they're such downers. But because of CF, I am scared to death of not being able to laugh, because there are times that if I'm really congested, I start to laugh and then I start coughing and I can't laugh, and it drives me crazy. And so one of my points that makes me get in shape, gets me on medicine, gets me active again, is if I start to have that, I say absolutely not. I will not allow that to happen, because I like laughing and I like being involved in funny moments, and you can't do it if you can't laugh. And it's kind of depressing. Told you.
Well, I
Told
can't.
you.
I can't.
The other one is,
I was going to make a joke, but it wasn't the right time. I make you laugh, and then you get in pain.
No, I'm okay now, but I have been sick for the last month or so.
In the future, all of my unfunny jokes will be out of compassion for Ryan.
All of your jokes today have apparently been so mean that you haven't said them. This has been like the 3rd or 4th time that you said, I'll just let that one pass.
Maybe I'm just feeling nicer today. Maybe I
think
you think I'm being meaner.
You're being meaner.
No, I'm not.
And you're
I'm
holding
not
back.
saying it.
You have a better filter than usual, but I think what's ultimately happening is your mind is going in the gutter, and
It's
you're
not a
saying
gutter. No.
really mean things in your heart.
In the gutter?
Yeah, just mean stuff. Yeah,
Gutter is not mean stuff.
No, it's not.
Gutter is perverted stuff.
Okay, then say whatever you want. It's super mean stuff that's coming out of your cold, dead heart.
You're sensitive.
The other thing that drives me crazy is, this is also a downer. Are you ready for it? It's going to be fun. Make a joke afterwards.
Didn't stop you before.
Lighten
Go
the
ahead.
mood. I used to be able to, when I was younger, do a ton of voices. And the older I get, and I don't know if this is just because
I think you should still try.
The way you get older, my range is so much smaller than it used to be. I would slip into falsetto and do these stupid voices. I would even do it on this show probably earlier, a few years ago, and the stuff I can't do anymore.
It's a voice is a muscle like anything else, and if you stop doing the voices, you stop exercising the muscle.
What happens when you stop hearing the voices?
I'll let you know.
Some moderately funny joke.
That was
you
pretty
give
good.
A little chuckle
yeah,
there.
that was good. That's pretty good. It was like a little Jimmy Fallon standing across from me.
Is a little?
Is that Jimmy Fallon over there? Or is that Brad Range?
Micro
I can't
Fallon.
see.
Is there anything you're afraid of not being able to? Is there anything you're afraid of growing old and not being able to do, Brad?
Me?
No, the other Brad. Micro Fallon.
I just
Excuse
make
me.
it.
No, Brad Young.
Brad
We're talking
Young.
about fill in Brad Young.
gonna have to yell
go back
really
into
loud.
That. No, I haven't played softball in 2 years, which makes me sad. It's not because the body isn't able or the spirit isn't willing. It's just that the team isn't there. So,
so
That
you're
sounds.
fine.
Get that bumper sticker printed right now.
He's fine.
there's just nobody that wants to play because they're all like, no, we're not.
Everybody
stupid.
around me sucks.
It's not that. It's just they don't want to play. They've got other things going on. And so we don't have a team. The team that I've always played with, it just never materialized. And so I haven't played softball in over 2 years. I wonder what it would be like to go back out there because that's whenever, like, the thing that I worry about is sprinting because apparently I heard somewhere that the average man never sprints again after the age of 41.
That's not true. I just did that the other day, and I was 44.
Yeah.
You didn't sprint.
Yeah, I did. I was
you
on the
didn't.
basketball court.
Also,
Why
you're
were you
below average,
sprinting?
Because I was on the basketball court. I was trying to keep up with a bunch of seventh graders. We were playing a parent versus kids game.
Did it look like a sprint?
Yeah, it was terrible. And it lasted the length of the court because then I was so tired that I had to come out. All right, I'm good.
How did the seventh grader? Hey, I gotta take a business phone call. Be right back.
He looks at the other parent, want to fake an injury.
Oh,
get
shoot,
out of
that's
it.
my flooring guy.
Flooring looks great. Let me take another look at that. It's bad lighting in here. I'll be right back, kids. You just keep sprinting.
You keep doing the layups there, guys. Keep it up. We got to beat these kids.
Can you shoot?
I can shoot okay. I'm not great. What, are you? Well, okay, Steph Curry. Hey, is that Jimmy Fallon over there? That's Steph Curry. Is that Annie Frey? Who's that?
Is that Jimmy Fallon? Or is that Annie Frey? What the hell are you
I
talking
can't
about?
see you. Let me see. Oh, my glasses.
People confuse us all the time. I got nothing.
Quite a shot over there.
There will not be another
Fry.
mean response from me held back for the rest of the show. I promise.
How are you at shooting? How are you from beyond the arc?
Shouldn't even say that.
I'm asking now. See, my range is getting better with the moment.
You better stop with the voices. You're going to hurt yourself.
Yeah, I'm hearing them too.
You got to answer the question. What's your free throw percentage?
Answer the question.
My kids think that the MBA award acknowledgement that you made for the show is the funniest thing ever. I don't know if we have that quickly, but they talk about our show's free throw percentage all the time. Do you have it?
Yeah.
Do you have it, Brad?
I don't have it.
My son thinks that so I won the MBA award, which is the Missouri Broadcasters Association, for talent.
Yeah, here it is. I got
or
it.
something. And Ryan is always tasked somehow with making a promo to acknowledge the show, and then he does this type of stuff to the show. Play it.
It's coming
When
up.
the Annie Frey Show heard they'd been given an award from the NBA, they weren't surprised. After all, Annie has a mean jump shot and Ryan can dunk.
Wiggins. Oh, Wiggins with a man's jam.
But when they heard the NBA had awarded them with Best On-Air Talent in Missouri, non-morning, they were a little confused. That seems really specific and not related to basketball, producer Brad Range said.
That seems really specific and not related to basketball.
It turns out it wasn't the NBA at all. It was the MBA, Missouri Broadcasters Association. This award makes a lot more sense now, said Wiggins.
This award makes a lot more sense now.
Wow, Best On-Air Talent in Missouri, said Annie. So congratulations to the Annie Frey Show for Best On-Air Talent in the State, Non-Morning Drive. And also, just announced, the Annie Frey Show has won the Missouri Broadcasters Association Award for highest free throw percentage. Non-morning drive.
Non-morning.
Huzzah!
Non-morning drive, though.
What's the matter with you? When you make these things, are you just chuckling like a psychopath at your computer?
Not like a psychopath, a beautiful path.
In my mind, you're laser focused, super serious.
Oh yeah, I actually, if you come up on me while I'm writing a sketch, I'm probably not laughing. I'm just like, oh yeah. This is good stuff. This is material that even Jimmy Fallon might.
All right. Well, the Missouri Broadcaster Association free throw percentage winners. You're listening to them right here. Non-morning drive. Ethan Sports on Local next. Stuart's American Mortgage. You got to hear Stewie today in the first hour talking about a lot of the things going on in the news right now, of course, are affecting the housing market. And I just can't stress this enough. If you are thinking about making a move, if you're thinking about getting a new mortgage, you need somebody who's going to have your best interests at heart. 100%. That's Stewie at Stuart's American Mortgage. Call or text him. He showed me on his way out some text messages that he got from folks just like you who are looking to improve your mortgage position or situation. Go to 314-324-4440. That's 314-324-4440 and talk to Stewie about your certain circumstances. Everybody is different, but when you use a bagel loan, it works the same for everybody who uses the bagel loan. $0 in closing costs. Thousands of dollars that you get to keep in your pocket because he picks the closing costs up for you. Doesn't roll them into the loan. They don't exist. No closing costs with the bagel loan. 314-324-4440. Google the bagel loan. NMLS number 226715.
If you suffer from burning, tingling, or numb feet, pay special attention as we discuss neuropathy with Dr. Patton, D.C. Doctor, what is neuropathy?
Peripheral neuropathy is nerve damage to the feet and legs.
What are the symptoms?
The symptoms are numbness, burning, tingling, pain, and loss of balance.
Is neuropathy treatable?
It's absolutely treatable, and we have amazing results.
If you have burning, tingling, numbness, coldness in your feet or hands or balance issues, call us at Comprehensive Integrated Health today for a nerve damage screening. The screening will tell if you're at risk for serious complications and if you're a candidate for our cutting-edge treatment program. Don't wait until your symptoms are so severe nothing can be done. End-stage neuropathy leaves people confined to walkers, wheelchairs, and even amputations. The first 10 callers will receive a free nerve damage screening. Call 636-538-5188. That's 636-538-5188 for your free nerve damage screening. 636-538-5188.
Is your home, business, or church looking tired, chalky, or in need of curb appeal? Go Rhino. Tired of painting year after year? Go Rhino. Our unique 3M ceramic technology is perfect for brick, stucco, aluminum, steel, color lock masonite, and more. It's backed by our 25-year transferable warranty to not chip, crack, or peel. Great if you're staying, and even better if you're selling. Our ceramic coating allows you to maintain all of your architectural features. The decision to do vinyl will leave your home looking like a plastic moldy box. With Rhino Shield, in 15 years, your home will still have that, wow, it looks like you just got it painted. We've done large condo complexes, parking garages, pole barns, and commercial strip malls. We coat sloped and flat roofs to extend their lives too. Evaluations are free. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. See what we did there? Genius. Tell them, ladies.
Don't paint, don't vinyl, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Don't let tax refund worries hold you back. File now with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They'll find every credit and deduction to help you get every refund dollar you deserve or your money back. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
Annie Frey is St. Louis conservative.
Hold up. Check it out.
Sports and local.
Doopy Dumples Dumpledoos.
This is a serious program, people.
That one's so dumb.
Who's the sponsor? Though?
That one's so dumb. That one.
Sponsored by All Financial. So many dings. So many bells. St. Louis Cardinals, another win
You ever
yesterday.
heard Ryan talk about the dong?
Please do. Go ahead, Ryan.
You got to hit that
Ryan
dong when you're in radio.
insisted. Ryan insisted that during our election coverage, this is back in Hannah time, that Ryan insisted that while we had the election coverage, that every time he was going to call a race from the election center, which was my daughter's child-sized desk
It was in Annie's basement.
in my basement, he goes, "We got to have a dong."
Yeah.
We had a virtual
Gotta have a dong.
background that changed.
Yeah.
What's the difference between a ding and a dong? This is obviously a ding.
I'll show you during Reardon's show.
No! Oh no! It could have been it could not have been a worse answer.
Ethan, you were saying, take it back. Take it back. Now.
I'm gonna call HR after this segment.
Good luck.
It's all right. It's on record, so.
There are people calling the police.
Or
I
really
am.
looking forward
right now,
to
it's
Reardon's
me.
show.
I'm
I
calling
don't know
them.
which.
Thank you for sponsoring this segment, All Financial.
Well, I wouldn't mention them again now.
Greatly appreciate you,
Don't do that
All
to them.
Financial.
Anyway,
The Cardinals stole a series from the Cleveland Guardians to finish off their
I'm the only fan here, but that's okay.
second homestand
I'm a fan too. I just dong.
of the. That's ding. That's not dong.
You're right. You're right.
We'll find out what dong is later.
At 3:05.
Yeah. That was more like doom. That was a bad ding. Dustin May, really solid outing yesterday. His last couple have been much better after a bumpy start to the year for him. He threw 6 innings, allowed 6 hits, just 1 earned run, struck out 4 as well. Cardinals were able to keep the small ball going in yesterday's game, relied on a sacrifice fly from J.J. Weatherholt and a 2-run single from Alec Burleson in the 6th inning to propel them to the 5-3 win. The Cardinals, prior to, yesterday was Wednesday, prior to Tuesday night's comeback win, had lost 3 straight games, had been outscored in those 3 games. I believe it was 25-7. It was not pretty. It was a pretty high number of runs that they had given up. The offense had gone quiet. And they had a great comeback on Tuesday night when they were trailing late. We talked about that yesterday. And then they were able to steal the series yesterday. That's twice this year that they've been able to do this in the early going of 2026. So
I think I saw a stat that said that we are tied with the Dodgers for comeback wins.
Tied with the Dodgers for most comeback wins in Major League Baseball. We have 8 up to this point. 2 of those wins, top 10 least likely to have come back from. On opening day when they were trailing by 6 runs, they had a 2.5% chance of coming back in that game, and they did. And then actually Tuesday night's game was the 10th least likely game of the year so far.
Comeback wins are good for the brand because it makes you keep watching.
Yeah.
Yes. Especially, it's a very youthful, energetic product right now that they're putting out. And I think, we're only 10% of the way through the season. There's a long way to go,
Can I
whole
ask you
summer.
An organization question?
Yeah, real quick. But it's been good so far, and hopefully they can keep this momentum going in an entertaining product. Go ahead.
The question is, if my fear is that we become just good enough that they don't have to do the things that make us World Series championship caliber club once again.
Well, that's what it has been, right? I mean, even before the last couple of years when it got really bad, I mean, you think about it, in 2016, 2017, 2018, they weren't playoff teams, but they were right there on the cusp. And we went from being an organization that's not acceptable to all of a sudden, we're just trying to play good enough to sneak into the playoffs. And the Cardinals, Chaim Bloom, have made it very clear that that's not what they want to be. That's why they are going through this rebuild.
You're telling me that the effort behind Chaim Bloom is to win a World Series.
Yes.
Not to make the playoffs.
Yes.
I want to be buying postseason tickets again.
He has made that very clear.
I want to be buying postseason tickets with arrogance when I purchase them.
He made it very clear.
I want to have a little, sachet when I go to buy those tickets because I know I'm going to be going to an NLCS.
He made it very clear that they were going to sacrifice short-term success to be able to build for the long term. Not that winning still wasn't going to be the goal, right? The goal is always to win. But he made it very clear in his initial press conference that they were not going to be afraid to move some pieces that would hurt them for this year.
Don't want to be good enough. I want to be the best.
This team would have been better with Brendan Donovan, with Sonny Gray on it, with Wilson Contreras. But the return that they got from those pieces, prospect-wise, have made them a top 3 farm system in Major League Baseball, which is where they used to be. When they were really good, they were constantly bringing in young talent. They're getting to the point where they're not far. We're going to start seeing some of this young talent, and it's going to be maybe some of it this year, but in the next year or two, you are really going to see a lot of it starting to show at the Major League level, and that's something to be looking forward to down the road. But a good win for the Cardinals. They will start a 3-game road series against the Houston Astros over the weekend, and then they will complete it against the Miami Marlins early next week.
What kind of season is this going to be if the best pitcher of April is May?
Dong.
St. Louis City SC, a 4-0 win over Tulsa FC
How
in the
long were
U.S.
you holding on to that?
The whole segment.
You did.
Good for you for waiting.
Great patience.
Good for you for waiting.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
You could have just completely thrown off my whole very passionate.
I don't want to do that.
I don't want to do that. He's doing voices again. He's working in things.
Yeah, you are. Now you're ruining it.
One more story, Ethan.
Yeah, 4-0 win for St. Louis City SC in the U.S. Open Cup. This is not regular season play. The U.S. Open Cup occurs every year in the MLS, and it's actually cool because it incorporates the lower levels of soccer in the U.S. as well. FC Tulsa is technically at a lower level than the MLS. They play in the USL, but every single team has an opportunity to win this U.S. Open Cup. So St. Louis City last night did what you're supposed to do against lower level teams. They beat them up pretty good, and they will advance to the next round.
All right. Annie, are you okay next? You guys ready for that?
That was a ding, not a dong.
Just to be clear. We need to create a segment called Ding Dong.
Ding or dong.
Yeah. And ding is for yes, and dong is for no.
Ding or dong could be the nickname for X's and Y's.
I'm really kind of... All right. I got nothing to add. Annie, are you okay? Next. Don't go away. Civia Law, online at civialaw.com. If you have a trust put together, an estate plan, when was the last time it was looked at? These things need to be revisited frequently because, first of all, the law has changed. You have access to things now that maybe you didn't have before. Chances of you having assets maybe now that you didn't have before, also possible. And maybe you have in-laws that have now become outlaws, or whatever the circumstances in those relationship changes you want to have reflected in your estate plan. You got to have it revisited. You have to have it looked at. And Todd Civia and the amazing team at Civia Law, Missouri and Illinois offices available for you. They're ready to take your phone call. The initial strategy session, a $300 value, that fee is going to be waived for you if you mention Annie when you call 833-995-WILL. 833-995-WILL. Drop my name out there and save that $300 fee on that first strategy session and get the problems solved, the questions answers with the best in the business at Civia Law. Online at civialaw.com.
Hi, this is Jill Schlesinger, CBS News business analyst, certified financial planner, and the host of the Jill on Money podcast. With the new year upon us, there's no better time to take control of your financial life. And the Jill on Money podcast is here to help. It's your questions that make it possible for me to provide unconventional and, I hope, entertaining insights on your money and, more importantly, on your life. Follow and listen to Jill on Money wherever you get your podcasts.
Triton Exteriors, St. Louis Roofing, Siding, and Gutter Systems. We'll take care of you and your home. We're #1 in the Ladue, Kirkwood, and Webster area. James Hardy certified. Visit Triton.stl.com to be connected with a James Hardy expert and receive a free estimate. Triton-stl.com or call 314-717-1159. That's 314-717-1159. Triton Exteriors, St. Louis #1 James Hardy specialists.
Mark Cox here. Join me, Annie Frey, and Mark Reardon, along with Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw of the Retirement Advisory Group, as they show you how to create a worry-free retirement. It's Tuesday, April 28th at the Doubletree Hotel in Chesterfield at 6:30. Here are Thomas and Bob with more.
Are you nearing retirement or already retired and would like to know how to turn your 401k and IRA into a worry-free retirement? Would you like to learn the investment strategy that gives you market growth while avoiding the market losses at the same time?
Would you like to get your free personalized retirement income plan? Did you also know if you're 59 and a half or older, you can roll over your company retirement plan tax-free and have a worry-free retirement? If you're 59 and a half or older, you cannot afford to miss this event.
Have a worry-free retirement and join the official financial advisors of my show, Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw. It's at the Doubletree Hotel in Chesterfield, Tuesday, April 28th at 6:30 p.m. Go to retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
Hi, I'm your kid's old jeans. I've been in the drawer for a while and really missed the playground. You should swing by Goodwill and drop me off. Donating me helps Goodwill's mission to provide career training and support services right here in the community. Plus, I can get back into the game. Donate today. Tag, you're it.
To find your nearest Goodwill locations and to learn more about our mission, please visit goodwill.org. Goodwill, where your things start new lives.
The YouTube live chat poll today is, have you ever been accused of being a conspiracy theorist? I have loved reading your answers on this on the text line 314-241-9797 or on the YouTube live chat, where you can also vote in the chat poll. Have you ever been accused of being a conspiracy theorist? Yes, and I'm not. Yes, and I am. Or no. Let us know. It is 2:33. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
JerryKelly.com.
Consistently right.
It's a ritual.
97.1 FM Talk. St. Louis Conservative.
And now it's time to play Is Annie Okay With This?
Hey, Trish is in the room. Hi. Hi, Annie and crew. Have you been listening to the show? A little bit, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
Pretty good, huh?
It's all right. Yeah,
Not
it's
Annie's
fine.
best day, but
It's all right. It's solidly mid. First day back, and I was like, I'm doing fine. And Ryan did not. What you said that was like the best I was doing. It was fine.
yeah, I think you achieved that.
Okay. Well, hopefully you can elevate the show here with a little Annie. Are you okay?
Smart toilets track your health.
Ooh.
New smart toilet technology is being developed in the United States to collect health data through everyday use.
Yikes.
These systems can analyze urine and stool to track hydration, gut health, and even flag early signs of conditions like infections or chronic disease.
Seems like something that, like, when they hack into you to try to dox you or whatever, people are going straight to the poop.
Oh, yeah. Like, this guy has definitely got prostate issues. Let's make it public before he runs for office.
Some models are designed to sync with apps and provide ongoing reports without requiring doctor visits. Most of the health tracking add-ons run a few $100s, while fully integrated smart toilets can cost several thousand. Annie, are you okay with smart toilets?
This seems like the type of thing that is super, super weird that maybe by the time we're senior citizens might be kind of mainstream. Like maybe it's something that just gets included in houses that are being built, like new build construction or whatever, but maybe isn't something that people swap out what they currently have. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Technology gets implemented into, like, if it's home technology, a lot of times it starts to get integrated into new builds, and then it becomes more mainstream because when people move, they have it and they're like, oh, this is really great. It's kind of creepy to me.
I like this idea, except that the internet diagnoses you of everything.
Yeah.
So your toilet probably would too. Like every day they're like, that's too loose.
Your alerts just popping up.
Could use a little more fiber.
Also makes me ask, with a smart toilet, what is the dumbest version of a toilet?
I think what we have now, basic.
No, that's incorrect. The answer is hole in the woods.
Oh, you went back even further.
Yeah.
Just a hole in the ground.
Okay.
Great content.
You're welcome.
Welcome. Anyway. Sure.
TikTok trend has users eating clay pots.
Let's go back to the dumb toilets.
Eating clay
A
pots.
trend gaining traction on TikTok shows users eating small clay pots coated with lime juice and spices. Some participants describe it as a texture or taste experience.
I'm sure it's an experience. It's exactly how I would describe it.
Medical professionals say it may be linked to pica, a condition sometimes tied to iron or mineral deficiencies. Experts warn that consuming clay products can introduce harmful substances.
Do people crave it? You see clay pot and you're like, man.
Look at that clay pot.
That is,
Thank you for that interpretation. You're not on your best game today.
I would argue that's not true. This is the best you're going to get all week.
Okay.
You know what this reminds me of? My grandpa told me a story once.
There we go.
where
Settle in.
When he was like in the 1940s or 50s, they were working in downtown St. Louis on buildings. He was doing construction. And he said some of these buildings had so many rats in them that you could just throw a sandwich into the corner, shine a light away, shine it back, and the sandwich was gone. And I asked the question, why would you make a whole sandwich and do that? You could throw just any food. You wouldn't have to make a sandwich.
Ryan's concern is of the sandwich
I wonder the
wasted.
same thing about this story.
So if you're craving,
Why would you make a pot?
And
like
then
just
eat it. Yes. Yeah, because I think it started when a woman said she was craving dirt as part of a pregnancy thing, and that's why
It's an
experts
iron
are saying-
deficiency.
Yes. Fair point. Why would you eat a whole pot?
Yeah, just if you're gonna make clay, just make some clay and make it edible. You don't have to make it into a pot like it's ghost.
Sure. Experts say don't do it. Annie, are you okay with TikTok?
I want to be. I don't know that it's making anybody smarter. I still don't have TikTok on anything that I have because of the spying Chinese government CCP
That's why
stuff.
I only use Temu.
Yeah, same thing.
Great deals.
It's completely different products.
Right.
Same infiltration of your information and data. I want to like it or use it, but I don't. So I don't know. No, I'm not okay with it because I'm not going to be a stooge of the CCP. At least not in ways that I'm aware of.
Yeah, no stooges for her.
Can somebody come get Ryan? Ethan?
It wasn't even a good curly. It was like,
Yeah, we know. We were there.
Curly.
You've also done a curly impression probably 6 times
That's
in the
the
last
third time
2
this
weeks.
week.
It's like you've got
I don't know why.
Hey, take him out. Ryan's getting
Ryan.
ejected from the room.
Thank you, Ethan.
Ethan is wheeling him out of the
See you
room.
later.
This is your moment to shine, Ethan. Take over. Trisha.
Cruise passenger wins partial verdict against Carnival after alcohol incident. A Miami jury ruled in a case involving Carnival Cruise.
Yeah.
After a passenger was served at least 14 tequila shots over several hours. She later suffered a serious onboard fall that resulted in injuries, including a concussion and back trauma. The lawsuit claimed crew members failed to intervene despite clear signs of intoxication. She was awarded $300,000 in damages.
For drinking too much tequila and falling?
Yep. Annie, are you okay with cruises?
Oh, man. I've never been on a cruise. Cruising is one of those things that people say once you do it, you're not going to want to travel any other way. But the big wide open ocean freaks me out, and I get motion sick. So I've also been told that if you go on bigger ships, then you don't really feel the motion of the ocean as much. But it just seems like if it doesn't go well, a very big, expensive commitment to be miserable.
Yeah, it's that first one. You got to test it.
Got to take like a 3-day cruise somewhere.
I really, really want to take a cruise down a river, like down the Mississippi, which people think
No one's
sounds
stopping
so
you.
stupid.
In fact, I might fund it.
I would love to do that. But they say
I'll even make your boat.
They say that if you do it, they do exist. You have
Yeah.
to do it for like 2 or 3 weeks. They're not short little weekend things like they do in the Bahamas.
Just float down the river in a weekend.
I don't know how it works. I've never done it. I'm just saying it sounds fun. Just pointing stuff on the river. Hey, there's the arch.
I've never done one, and I definitely do the Disney World thing. Everyone talks about Disney cruises.
So good.
Have you done a Disney cruise?
Yeah, I was a kid, but it was awesome.
It was awesome?
Yeah.
Do you remember feeling the boat moving?
No. No, I remember feeling very happy.
That's the goal. Just like Ryan
Because
after
of-
those 14 tequila shots before he fell over at that fair.
Well, hey, $300,000 make you feel real good.
Yeah. You know what? If you get served, was the same person serving the 14 shots?
No, it was multiple bars.
Why is that? Why are they responsible?
I have no idea. And apparently this made the news because it's rare for Carnival to be, or any cruise line to be held responsible for this.
Wow.
And she only got, they said, I think the jury came back and said it was like 60-40 the cruise's fault, and then they gave her $300,000.
64? How do you even determine that?
I have no idea. Welfare check finds 91-year-old playing video games. A 91-year-old woman in Ohio.
Welfare check, like a not like a dollar check from the government,
like a check-in from the.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Then I'm okay with it. Welfare check finds 91. So they couldn't find a 91-year-old person.
A 91-year-old woman in Ohio missed her scheduled check-in calls
because
prompting a welfare check. Officers knocked on the door. Nobody answered. So so they just went in. Upon entry, police found her safe and fully engaged in playing video games in her bedroom. Authorities confirmed there was no emergency and she was unharmed.
Answer the question we all want to know.
What game?
What game?
I have no idea.
No!
Sorry.
Oh, man. Was it Halo?
I don't know. It was super secret. I don't know. Annie, are you okay with video games?
Yeah, I am. I think there's an appropriate place and time. I play Fortnite with my kids a lot. I'm not a sweat, but I'm not bad. That's just proof that I play Fortnite with my kids. What?
I don't even know what that means.
It's because you're a loser.
I'm not a sweat.
Oh, if that means he's a loser, I know for sure.
Would you like me to break it down for you?
No. You got to get where the kids are at so you can cook at Fortnite.
I don't want to go hang out with kids at all.
Ryan, you kind of are a sweat, just not at Fortnite.
At what?
Oh, I think being funny.
Oh, gosh.
I don't know what that means.
Don't do
What
that.
does it mean?
It's a sweaty tryhard.
What?
I don't.
What?
Yeah, don't look at me.
It's a sweat. They call them sweats. It's just a person that tries way too hard to be good at the game.
And it's specific to this game, Fortnite?
Any video game.
Oh. Like in the chat? Like if somebody's like real ambitious in the game, somebody's like, that guy's a sweat. Ha, ha, ha.
Yeah. Or they'll just say it to their face.
Huh.
You can talk a lot of trash in video
Sweat
games.
or is a gaming slang term for a highly competitive try-hard player who plays with intense focus, often utilizing meta strategies in casual matches. Brad just called you a sweat at being funny.
I know.
That was painful.
Really mean. Of all the things that Annie passed on calling me today, Brad.
I'm the nice one.
Brad took a swing. Took a swing and hit it hard. Man, it's rough. Trisha, I am
highly
funny and beautiful,
competitive
right?
try-hard player with intense focus, utilizing meta strategies.
How long did you hang on to that joke for Ethan's?
10, 15 minutes. But it was worth it. And we all know that.
You're trying too hard.
No, I'm not.
What you're saying is you tried really
No,
hard.
I'm talking condescendingly.
I think
not to
that
Brad.
parents need to play video games. If their kids like to play video games, I think parents need to be there. But when it becomes too much for you, it's too much for them, and then they need to touch grass.
I know that one.
Do you know what it means, though?
Yeah, you go touch grass with your hand.
But do you know what it means?
Because you're inside too much. You go outside and touch grass.
That's really what it means.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they're good, but I think adults need escapes from things. So do kids, but it's got to be the escape. When you realize that your chores, your responsibilities are tearing you away from your video games, you got to invert that real fast. And boy, do I. All right. One more.
Sure. Students set dinosaur costume world record. Students at the
I'm sorry.
These
I gotta
headlines
catch
are
up.
what they are.
Gotta talk slow.
Students at the University of Calgary organized a large-scale gathering to set a Guinness World Record for the most people dressed in inflatable dinosaur costumes. Hundreds of participants took part, coordinating the effort to meet official requirements
Why do we put
for
so much
said
effort
record.
and time into stupid things?
It's fun sometimes.
This was planned as a campus activity.
This one's stupid, though.
To build engagement and community. Annie, are you okay with dinosaurs?
Yes.
You know what I'm not okay with? Them say, like, they all got together to do this stupid thing.
Yeah,
And they
so
put
dumb.
language on it that says, well, we were trying to build community.
And engagement.
And engagement among our peers. It's
Yeah.
like, shut up. You were just in a dinosaur costume for the Guinness Book of World Records because it was sort of fun. Not
for you to say.
community building among your stupid peers.
Anything else you want to add?
No, I'm fine. You
All
can do
right.
the rest.
Well, thank you. That's very generous. Kind of you. That free throw percentage is going up and up.
You got to be watching to get some of the jokes.
I still don't get them, and I see all of them. Let's take a quick break. We'll talk about being conspiracy theorists next. Don't go away.
.1 FM Talk, proud to partner with Missouri Right to Life.
This is Steve Rupp, president of Missouri Right to Life. Join us at our Make Missouri Pro-Life Again banquet with keynote Riley Gaines on May 20th in St. Charles. Go to the Missouri Right to Life website for details.
2026, I've been hearing from customers and friends that their utility bills went up quite a bit for their electric bill. That being said, and you're looking at buying a new air conditioner, or you're thinking, hey, I guess let's just get an air conditioner so it helps with the electric bills. If you have an old system, it definitely can help you. But watch your thinking. Just because you are told this is a so-called high-efficient air conditioner, it's not going to save you nowhere near what you think it's going to save you. Just replacing your old equipment is the biggest thing, and make your house efficient. An air conditioner is not going to make your house efficient. That being said, it's a great time to purchase an air conditioner if you get the correct one. Don't overspend. Don't believe the hype. In other words, don't drink the Kool-Aid. Call me, Bart Inman, at 314, one easy number, Missouri and Illinois, 314-293-2600. Again, the easiest of numbers, 314-293-2600 or bartinman.com. God bless.
Ever felt a nagging toothache or maybe a sensitive spot? It's frustrating, right? But don't let that worry hold you back. This is Dr. Michael A. White. I am dedicated to providing gentle, affordable dental care that puts your comfort first. Our experienced team and advanced technology will ensure a smooth, relaxing experience. It's just common sense. Don't hurt the patient. Call my office at 314-270-8552. That's 314-270-8552.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, call America's largest injury law firm. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you. Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
When you're approaching retirement, there are a lot of questions to answer. Do you have enough money to fund your income for life? How should you claim Social Security? And what's your plan for health care and long-term care? Hi, I'm Eric Robert, Director of Investments with the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel and host of On the Money Saturday mornings at 11 on 97.1 FM Talk. Don't leave your retirement to chance. It's crucial to understand and address relevant risks before you retire. Our team can help you get organized, guide you through critical retirement decisions, and create an investment portfolio designed around your needs. To schedule your free retirement plan consultation, go to clearpathinvesting.com. That's clearpathinvesting.com. Or call us at 636-695-2650. That's clearpathinvesting.com or 636-695-2650. Stifel Nicholas and Company Incorporated, member SIPC and NYSE.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
There are now 10 American scientists who have either gone missing or died since mid-2024. They all reportedly had access to classified nuclear or aerospace material. Is anybody investigating this to see if these things are connected?
I've seen the report, Peter. I haven't spoken to our relevant agencies about it. I will certainly do that and we'll get you an answer. If true, of course, that's definitely something I think this government and administration would deem worth looking into. So let me do that for you.
So Carolyn Levitt telling Peter Ducey there that they're going to look into these dead scientists, 10 of them globally. All these big scary movies that are created, the one that sticks in my mind the most is, off the top of my head, is Dark Knight, the last one, where Bane gets that nuclear scientist, captures him off of the plane when they cut the plane in half, and then they take him and make him help him take over the nuclear reactor that is, what's Batman's real name? Bruce Wayne. He's got
Frank
this
Batman.
Yep.
Frank Castle.
They take a nuclear. He's trying to make a nuclear power source for Gotham or whatever, and they capture this scientist. They make him turn it into a nuclear bomb. They take him in front of what is the Pittsburgh Steelers stadium, but it's the Gotham Knights or whatever they are. Remember when they blow up everything around the stadium, and then he gets on that microphone and he's like, "This nuclear physicist is the only one who can disarm this bomb," and then he shoots him.
I do remember that.
So you've got these scientists, 10 of them, around the world that are mysteriously dying or gone missing.
Do we know what the connection between the scientists is? Are they all
That's what Ducey just asked.
Kind of scientists? What did she say? No?
Good God. Listen to the podcast, Ryan. Listen to the podcast. Say? That's kind of the impetus for the YouTube poll question today. Have you been accused of being a conspiracy theorist? Yes, and I'm not. Yes, and I am, or no. Go vote in the Annie Frey YouTube channel in the next 2 minutes, and you'll get your results in here before I give you them here on the air. Do you have any more comments? I know the people have been texting at 314-241-9797 and commenting here as well on the Annie Frey YouTube live chat poll. Jackie said, if it is true, it is a conspiracy. They conspired to do something. I think that's where when people talk about, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, and then they say, because everything keeps coming true. There are a lot of things in the last 5 to 10 years that were conspiracy theories that ended up being true. What do you got?
From the text line, this says, yes, I have been accused of being a conspiracy theorist. Sometimes I am, and most of the time I am. It turns out I'm correct, though.
Yeah.
And those people accuse me they've told me sorry.
I would say, I didn't put on here, I probably could have said, no, I haven't been accused of it, but I am. Because that might be where I am. I kind of feel like I am a conspiracy theorist. I'm always looking for something bigger and more devious, but not without the understanding that maybe the most obvious thing is the actual truth.
This one says no on the poll. I only talk about things I can prove, like when I say progressives are brainwashed, useful idiots.
Okay.
That one's from Balls.
Thanks, Balls.
Thanks, Balls. Jeff from Eureka says, yes, I have been accused, and I am. Most of mine has come true.
Joe says, sorry, go ahead.
And he just says, I have custom tinfoil hats.
Okay. Joe on YouTube said, I didn't trust the science on COVID. One of the more benign names I was called was conspiracy theorist. So yes, I am a conspiracy theorist. The bar is set quite low to become one. I think that the accusation of conspiracy theory, being a conspiracy theorist, often is the way to sum up with, are there people on the left that are being accused of being conspiracy theorists?
There ought to be.
There are Blue Anon. There's that far left, the people who look for any explanation, like, the Charlie Kirk assassin was a right-wing conspiracist and stuff like that.
That's just dumb. I just feel like it's generally speaking something used to degrade the position of somebody who might have a conservative, anti-swampy kind of position. I think it's an easy way to dismiss people on the right. Sometimes those people are kooky. Sometimes they're not. We asked you that question. Have you ever been accused of being a conspiracy theorist? 57% of you said no. 26 said yes, and I am, and 16% said yes, and I'm not. Thanks for voting today. Don't go away. The Mark Reardon Show is coming up next on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative. Don't go away.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Money, sponsored by Wesley Financial.
Gen Z has rediscovered the shopping mall, and unlike their millennial siblings and Gen X parents, they're actually buying stuff.
You know, they just went to hang out. They weren't necessarily buying anything.
Business writer Jennifer Waters says surviving shopping malls are retooling to draw in digital natives, adding creation studios for social media.
Putting clothes on and then posing and, putting them on Instagram or TikTok.
I'm Rob Hart.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell, definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. Do you feel stupid for buying a timeshare? Don't. It's not your fault. You were most likely told you could rent it, and it was a great financial investment. And the deal was available today only. If this happened to you,